Chill, fool, for real, for real.
Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau in, now my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. I woke up from my arrest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah.
Is it working?
Well, it's a delay.
Let me know if y'all hear me. Let me know if y'all hear me. I'll wait. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Okay, so we got okay. We got the School of San Antonio, Virginia. Y'all know the class times; they're up there. We got the Blog Talk Radio, as well as the other ways on YouTube to view us. The Hidden Truth Bible Show, Israelite Media Corps, 5 Minutes of Wisdom. Virginia got live class. ISB HBK San Antonio. So you can check us out. Check us out on those different channels. The sisters are currently doing garments. So Israel wear, you can put in an order, it'll be backlogged and they'll start that order in May. Okay, so for right now, Israel wear is taking orders, they're just not fulfilling those orders until May. As you guys know, we do have Passover. That's on April the 4th. Oh, you do have the fringed up subscription, excuse me. All right, you can pay $35, get a shirt, $75, get a shirt and a matching headband monthly. It's a monthly subscription. Okay, that's where Israel wear. We got Hebrew Academy every Tuesday here in Houston, Wednesday in Virginia, Thursday in, Tuesday it's here in Houston, Wednesday it's in Virginia and in Rochester. Okay? So if you want to be a part of that, please let us know. If you need to reach a teacher, you can call or text my number. It's 303-557-8979. Or you can reach Priest Kazakia at 757-300-4047. Okay? We also have Sweet Ambiance. That's our other business. You can check us out at sweetambiance.com. That's for your smell goods. If you like to smell good, we got you on that. Any donations that you want to give, feel free to do so. You can send that to the Wells Fargo, or you can Zelle isbhbk at gmail. You can Cash App my number. You can PayPal my number. Whatever you want to give towards the Passover lamb. We're in need of a new computer. So whatever you want to give, feel free. Any alms, any tights, whatever you want to give, you can send it through to the Wells Fargo or to the Zelle. That's it for the announcements. Remember, it is the Shabbat. It is the Shabbat, and it's also at sundown was the start of the Feast of Unleavened Bread and Passover. All right, so we did our celebration in Houston yesterday because last night was the official start. We will be getting together with everyone for the big celebration on April the 4th. Okay, we do it like that because it's hard for everybody to get together, do the work, things like that. So whenever they do their little Easter Sunday, everybody's usually off. Everything's usually closed. We get everybody together. We got like 4 schools coming together in San Antonio on April the 4th. So should be a good time. Should be a real good time. Last night was fun. It was quick. It was fun. Scripture say eat in haste. We cooked in haste. We ate in haste, and then we got it over with. So it was fun. We had to have some lamb, right? A few other things, some wine. So it was good. It was good. Again, if you can make it to open it up with the Sabbath prayers. All right, so I might you. Rise and face. Peace. It's cold in here, or is it just me? Nice and fresh. All right. Yes, sir.
Latanawa.
Award.
Zayawam.
The water.
Aman. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us light this day. Thanks, so be it. The light represents wisdom, knowledge, understanding we obtain through the scriptures.
Go over to the left.
In Matthew chapter 5:16, it says, let your light shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
To the left. Keep going left. Keep going right there.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahawa'ah. Latanawa. Rayach. Nayachacha. The water. Aman.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us sweet savor. Thanks, so be it. The frankincense and myrrh represents our prayers going up to the Most High as sweet savor. In Psalms chapter 141 verse 2 it says, let my prayers be set forth before thee as incense.
Yahushai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Ahawa'a.
Ahawa'a.
Nathanawa.
Netanyahu.
Ha-Shabbat.
Ha-Shabbat.
Ba-Shalom.
Ba-Shalom.
The water.
The water.
Aman.
Amen. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, that gives to us the Sabbath in peace. Thank you, so be it.
This is Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Ay Nasha.
Ayanasha.
Ay Yanyam Ya.
Ayam Yam Ya.
Al Haharyam.
Al-Haharyam.
Na'aya.
Na'aya.
Wabawa'a.
Wabawa'a.
Izaria.
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 Wabawa'a.
Wabawa'a.
Ma Yahweh.
Ma Yahweh.
Sha'aisha.
Sha'aisha.
Shamayim.
Shamayim.
Wa'arataza.
Wa'arataza.
La'a.
La'a.
Yanathan.
Lanathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalia.
Regalia.
Yala'a.
Yala'a.
Nawam.
Nawam.
Shasha Wamar.
Shasha Ramor.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamaria.
Shamaria.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalia.
Tazalia.
Ayel.
Ayel.
Yam Yam Yad.
Yam Yam Yad.
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 Hashemat.
Hashemat.
Yala'a.
Yala'a.
Hakaya.
Hakaya.
Bayawam.
Bayawan.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Halabana.
Halabana.
Ba Layala.
Ba Yayala.
Ba
Ba
La
La
Yala.
Yala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamaria.
Yashamaria.
Makal.
Makol. Right.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Napashya.
Napashya.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Hawalakia.
Hawalakia.
Wabawaaya.
Wabu'aya.
Ma'aitan.
Ma'aitan.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai
Wahaibalam.
Aman.
Amen. This is Psalms chapter 121 verse 1. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharala shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, and even forevermore.
Bahasham Yahushai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Tamyad.
Tamyad.
Aman.
Amen.
Skip something?
Shema
Yasharala.
Shema Yasharala.
Yahweh Allahayanawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Achad.
Yahweh Ahad.
Shema Yasharala.
Shema Yasharala.
Yahweh Allahayanawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Achad.
Yahweh Ahad.
Shema Yasharala.
Shema Yasharala.
Yahweh Allahayanawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh Achad.
Yahweh Ahad. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh is our power. Yahweh is one.
This is the Lord's Prayer, which can be found in Matthew 6 and 9. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Balak with Ka.
Balak with Ka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Ratazaka.
Ratazaka.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Haya.
Haya.
Bashamayim.
Bashamayim.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Lacham.
Lacham.
Kol.
Kol.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalach Nawa.
Wasalach Nawa.
Kabawaf Nawa.
Kabawaf Nawa.
Wasalach Nawa.
Wasalach Nawa.
Kabawaf Yanawa.
Kabawaf Yanawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Tabiyanawa.
Tabiyanawa.
Badasaya 1.
Badasaya 1.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashai Nawa.
Hawashai Nawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Habalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Wa'ala.
Wahatha Pa'araf.
Wa'ata Pa'arat.
La'aiwalani.
Wahabalanim.
Aman.
Amen. Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Aman. Ha.
Ha.
Aishara.
Aishara.
Matazawa.
Matazawa. Ten Commandments.
Number 1. La'a.
La'a.
Yahaya.
Na'aya.
No. You gotta listen. La'a.
La'a.
Yahaya.
Yahaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Acharyim.
Acharyim.
Alpanya.
Alpanya. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
La'a.
La'a.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Laka.
Laka.
Pasal.
Pasal.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Ibadam.
Ta'ibadam. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
La'a.
La'a.
Talakwak'ath.
Talakwa'ath.
Sham.
Sham.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashawah.
Bashawah. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Zakar.
Zakar.
Hayawam.
Hayawam.
Hashabath.
Hashabath.
Lakwadashwa.
Lakadashwa. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Kabad.
Kabad.
Abaka.
Amaka.
Wa amaka.
Wa amaka. Honor thy father and thy mother.
La'a.
La'a.
Taratazak.
Taratazak. Thou shalt not murder.
La'a.
La'a.
Ta'ina.
Ta'ina.
Shakur.
Shakur. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
La'a.
La'a.
Tachamad.
Tachamad.
Call.
Asherah.
Lara'aika.
Lara'ayaka. Thou shalt not covet anything that is thy neighbor's.
Bahasham Yahushai.
Bahasham Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
From Yad.
From Yad.
Aman.
Aman. Yeshabium, which means to be seated.
All right, so that was the morning prayers. You're good. Camera person. You're good. Yeah, go on. You gotta show up to class. We're here live. So brothers and sisters that are local can be a part of that. Be a part of the prayers. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna do what we do. We're gonna get into this reading. Trying not to make it too long. It's been a long week. It's gonna be another long week.
No, it's wrong. You gotta redo it.
Okay.
Go to I'll send it to you in a sec. Because you got extra stuff in there.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Got the locker around curse. Jeremiah, Shabbat Tashah, Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala, Men of Israel, Imayim, Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakatah. I do that right now.
You know where to go.
Live.
Back. To your phone. Is it buffering right now?
Kinda, it was loading right now. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it be?
I haven't received it yet, please.
No, I sent it in the chat with all four of y'all. No?
No.
Damn, why is it buffering? Well, let's get into it. We're at Leviticus 6, right? Leviticus 6 and verse 1. It might buffer. Just bear with us. We'll try to figure it out. He's reading to what?
He's reading to 24. Verse 24 in chapter 6.
Okay, go ahead.
6:24.
6 and 1 to Leviticus to verse 24.
Leviticus chapter 6, verse 1. Against the Lord, and lie unto his neighbor, and that which has delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by the violence, or have deceived his neighbor.
Right, so it's saying if a man sin or commit a trespass against the Lord by deceiving his neighbor, by robbing his neighbor, by doing violence to his neighbor, by defrauding his neighbor. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Or have found that which has lost, and lieth concerning it, and sweareth falsely, and any of all these that a man doeth, sinning therein. Then it shall be because he hath sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took
Violently.
away, or the thing which he has deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found, or all that about which he hath sworn falsely, he hath even restored it in the principle, and shall add the fifth part more thereto, to give it unto him to whom it appertaineth in the day of his trespass offering.
Right. So, these laws were set up to prevent, to try to put it in your mind, not to commit fraud or violence or any type of deception, any type of trespass towards your neighbor. And if so, then you'd have to restore your neighbor. It says you'd have to give him a fifth part on top of what you took. Go ahead.
And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord, a ram without blemish, out of the flock, with thy make an atonement for him before the Lord, and it shall be forgiven him for anything of all that he hath done in trespassing therein. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. It is the burnt offering because of the burning upon the altar at night unto the morning, and the fire of the altar shall be burning in it.
Right, so we're going from the trespass offering now to the burnt offering. Go ahead. So if you remember last week we spoke about two other offerings, right? It was the meat. It was three offerings. It was the meat offering, the peace offering, and also the burnt sacrifice. Let's see here. Yeah, it was the burnt sacrifice. It was the meat offering, and it was the peace offering. So as you see what's going on here, he's walking us through all the different offerings that we were supposed to perform for different instances. So he gave us the trust.
And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and his linen breeches shall he put upon his flesh, and take up the ashes which the fire hath consumed with the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. And he shall put off his garments, and put on other garments, and carry forth the ashes without the camp unto a clean place. And the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it. It shall not be put out, and the priest shall burn wood on it every morning and lay the burnt offering in order upon it.
Right. So this right here is letting us know that the burnt offering, it never went out.
Con.
This is very important
Perpetual burn.
because you got those, you got the ones that don't get it. They don't understand. Oh, well, you're not supposed to kindle a fire on the Sabbath. Well, the burnt offering always burned. That fire never, ever, ever, ever was supposed to be quenched. That was a fire that they put wood. Reverse 12 one more time.
And the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it. It shall not be put out, and the priest shall burn wood on it every morning.
Some mornings,
Every morning.
just 6 days out the week.
Every morning.
Right. You burnt fire on the burnt offering. They put wood every morning to keep that fire blazing. All right. So if you're paying attention, you link that with. If you're paying attention, you can link it. What is it? Exodus 35. Let's make sure. You can link it, that way you get the understanding. Yeah, Exodus 35 and verse 3. Somebody get that for me. That way when these unlearned people run up to you like, you're not supposed to kindle a fire on the Sabbath, Ak. You can show them, wait a minute. Well, we had a fire burning 7 days a week. So what did it mean about your habitation? It said habitation.
God.
Because we weren't supposed to be in our own separate houses.
Con.
We were supposed to be here giving offering and being with our people.
God.
Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations.
Right. Throughout your habitation, your dwelling quarters. But the priests had to keep this fire going for the burnt sacrifice. All right, for the burnt, what is it, the burnt offering? Yeah, for the burnt offering. Go ahead.
Upon the Sabbath day.
Right. See, again, we go through this all the time. This was to prevent individualites from sitting in their house with their little disgruntled, in my feelings, I'm upset today, I don't want to be around nobody, I could do all bad by myself. That was supposed to prevent that mind state, get you around, get us around each other and handle situations.
Con.
Go ahead. Was that it?
God.
Right, jump back.
Many hands make light work.
Jump back to where you at, Leviticus 6:12. Read it again.
From the top.
Yep.
And the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it. It shall not be put out, and the priest shall burn wood on it every morning,
Right, every morning. Go ahead.
and lay the burnt offering in order upon it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And he shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offerings.
Right, you should burn thereon the fat, because we didn't eat the fat or the blood. Go ahead. Or the kidneys or the gall, all that stuff. We didn't deal with that. Go ahead.
The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar. It shall never go out.
You see that? It shall never go out. So there was a priest dedicated to throw logs on this fire. There was someone that was set up. This was their job. You come at the morning, you come at the night, or you just get a log that will burn throughout the day. But this fire never went out.
Con.
What verse you at?
Verse
14.
14.
Right. Go ahead.
And this is the law of the meat offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before the Lord, before the altar.
Right. So now it's going to go into a different offering. It's going to go into the meat offering again. So all it's really doing is just reiterating what we read over last week. Go ahead. But now he's giving you the actual stipulations. Go ahead.
And he shall take of it his handful of the flour of the meat offering, and of the oil thereof, and all the frankincense which is upon the meat offering, and shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor, even the memorial of it unto the Lord.
No, it's called a meat offering, but it didn't have nothing to do with meat. It's weird, right? Go ahead.
And the remainder thereof shall Aaron and his sons eat with unleavened bread. Shall it be eaten in the holy place, in the court of the tabernacle of the congregation? They shall eat it. It shall not be baken with leaven. I have given it unto them for their portion of my offerings. Trespass offering. All the males among the children of Aaron shall eat of it. It shall be a statute forever in your generations concerning the offerings of the Lord made by fire. Every one that toucheth them shall be holy. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This is the offering of Aaron and of his sons, which they shall offer unto the Lord in the day when he is anointed. The 10th part of an
Ephah.
ephah of fine flour for a meat offering, perpetual, half of it in the morning, and half thereof at night. In a pan it shall be made with oil, and when it is baken, thou shalt bring it in, and the baken pieces of the meat offerings shalt thou offer for a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the priest of his sons that is anointed his stead shall offer it. It is a statute forever unto the Lord. It shall be holy burnt. For every meat offering for the priest shall be wholly burnt. It shall not be eaten. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying.
That's it.
So, 10th part. 40 liters. So an ephah, not ephod, the ephah of the flour, that was about 9 gallons. So they gave a 10th part of that to the 10th part. So that's about 9 gallons. So a 10th part of 9 gallons, I mean, you can literally say half a gallon of flour. So they have to come with a significant amount. Half a gallon of flour to make this offering. All right, if anybody wonder what that measurement was. Or 40 liters. Now I know liters, usually you don't measure when you talk about dry, right? You don't measure flour and stuff in liters or in gallons.
You do it by cups.
You do it by cups. It's a different, you got your liquid measurements and you got your dry measurements. But that's to give you kind of an idea of how much that is. It's about a half a gallon of flour and oil. Or there's a flour actually. Then you throw some oil, the frankincense, bake up some cakes. Get it in. It's good eating. Good eating right there, right? So now I see why it's funny when you look at all the tribes. When you look at all the 12 tribes, we all got like some type of bread or tortilla. Like it's been 9.5, they all got a tortilla. I don't care if you talk about a pupusa. I don't care if you talk about an empanada. I don't care if you talk about a tostada, a taco, a corn tortilla, flour tortilla. Right? It's like, where do we get it from? Well, it's in our damn blood, right? When you go to Benjamin and them, they love their roti. right? Roti is no different than all of this is flour kneaded out. And it's more. It's bigger and it's easy to wrap it. It's very
Like a burrito.
It's like a burrito, but it's a little bit flakier. But it's still, it's not flimsy either.
I see what
You see what I'm saying? But the point is, we all got the same crap. We all eating the same thing. Like, you know, it's funny. Everybody talks about what food is better. I'm like, we all eat the same thing. We all eat rice and beans. That's the main staple in the whole 12 tribes diet. Benjamin, rice and peas. Right? We eat rice and peas with oxtail, with everything. Right? 9.5, beans and rice. Y'all say beans and rice. It's the same damn rice and peas. It's the same thing.
Survival of the fittest.
It's cooked a little different spices, right? For the different areas that we were in, but for the most part, bro, we eat the same thing. Jamaicans got their own cheese. Issachar got their own damn cheese. The white cheese that comes, we got our own cheese in the can. Benjamin, banging. And then Judah got American cheese. Oh, that's terrible. But we all got, right? You got they call it Mexican cheese. The cheese that's mixed up.
Yep.
Right?
The white,
Damn.
the white and yellow.
It's mixed up.
Yep.
Right? Mixed people. Right. Just saying. So, you know, you can see it here where the Most High was like, listen, this is going to be y'all's diet. And through captivity, through slavery, you know, a lot of things have been weeded out of us and watered down. And a lot of things we do and we don't realize that we're doing them and they're right according to the scriptures. We just think that it's a coincidence that we all eat rice and beans. Yeah, Judah calls it peas and rice. It's rice and peas because there's more rice than peas.
Okay.
Right?
Sure is
That's
good.
what I would think.
Sure is good though.
But either way, it's all good, right?
Put some tortillas on it too.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. Benjamin got roti. Y'all got the 9.5 got tortillas. Or tostadas or empanadas. Right? Something with a nada in it. Right? Something with a nada. So, let's see, question, sir. Leviticus 6:16 says, Aaron and his son shall eat the remainder of the meat offering with unleavened bread. Meat offering isn't flesh, but what is it? Well, it tells you. It tells you what the meat offering. It was fine flour with oil. But when you read it, it don't talk about no animal in there, right? The law of the meat offering.
Verse 17.
Let's go back to Leviticus real quick. Go to Leviticus 2 and verse 1. Somebody read that. Hog head cheese. Wait, Judah has their own cheese. It's unlawful though. Hog head cheese. What's in that?
Never tried that before.
Hog head cheese. What? Don't tell me you got like bacon bit. What's hog head cheese?
It's ground up with pig's head.
Cold.
It's what?
It's ground up pig's head. It's like just big gelatin.
So it's not really cheese.
No.
Oh, snap. You Negroes are filthy. Are you serious? I've heard of that. I thought it was like cheese with like bacon bits.
Nah.
So it's grounded up pig face, the whole head. What do you put it in? What do you put it on?
Crackers.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Judah got biscuits and cornbread. That's what I'm saying. Oh, big head. That's what I'm saying. Y'all got cornbread, we got tortillas. It's all the same. Like, we baking something.
Yes.
Put it like that. Something is getting baked in a pan with oil and some type of flour or some type of corn.
That's right.
Right? So read this real quick.
Leviticus chapter 2, verse 1.
Yep.
And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense thereon. And he shall bring it to Aaron's sons, the priests, and he shall take thereout his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof.
Right, so it said oil, and I mean, we just got to go off of what it says. It says oil. It says flour. It says frankincense. Go ahead.
And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar,
Right.
to be an offering made by fire.
Right. So they would burn up some cakes on the fire. Go ahead.
Of a sweet savor unto the Lord.
Right.
And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons.
Right. Jump down to verse 4.
And if thou bring an oblation of a meat offering, bacon in the oven.
Right. So the meat offering was something that was baking in an oven if you already made it. You see that? So what do you bake in the oven? Flour, oil. You bake. You make up a cake and bake it.
Con.
Go ahead.
It shall be 11 cakes of fine flour mingled with oil,
Go ahead.
or 11 wafers
Right.
anointed with oil.
There it is. There it is. Rat trap cheddar? What the? What are y'all, Derek? What are y'all doing out here in America, man? What are y'all doing? Listen, Derek made some lamb yesterday. Oh my god,
That was good.
bro! I dreamt about that lamb,
First line.
and I didn't listen. Yeah, now I see why. Like we ate like lamb and all those type of animals because I didn't eat a lot last night. But bro, I did not go to bed feeling heavy. You know when you eat a lot of meat, like steak and that red meat, you be feeling heavy. Bro, that lamb, it chewed up like bubble gum. It was so soft.
It did.
It was so soft. Like y'all should have had it off the grill. Oh, we was out there doing it. Bro, we took a it was so soft. It was so soft, man. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But the digestion process, bro, I went to sleep feeling good. Woke up feeling good. Usually if I eat a burger, before I go to bed, you wake up, you just like just groggy and breath stink and everything. That salt and pepper and some mesquite wood and the charcoal and the grill. That's how we got it in. That lamb was with butter garlic sauce. Man, yeah, it was beautiful. But yeah, hopefully you see that. Tells you it's unleavened cakes. Right. Verse 5, and if thy oblation be a meat offering bacon in a pan, it shall be of fine flour, unleavened, mingled with oil. So he's just giving you different ways to even make. You can bake it in a pan, you can bake it in the oven. Think about like cornbread. They put it in a pan in the oven. Right? But he's showing you can do this over the open fire. But either way, it had to be unleavened. Lamb doesn't make you feel heavy like beef. It don't. Yeah, that lamb was amazing. Just the smell when it hit the grill, it was like whoa. Woo. Yep. It was wonderful. Let's jump back. Let's get her. Let's get her done. Let's get her done. I think this should be a pretty quick one. Let's get her done.
William Sabbath Yahweh, Bon Yasharala.
William Shabbat Shaw, Yahawada, but yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You know what I was thinking? Is that coming to class, I was thinking how Derek's only been around for what, a few months?
They've been around for like 2 years.
For 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What, online?
No.
Really? Okay.
Used to be a regular on that whole thing too.
You said what?
I said I used to be a regular on that whole thing too.
So it's just meat? It's just meat.
Just ground pig.
Ground up? Damn.
It's like a big gelatin glob too.
Oh.
Like Jello?
Almost.
Cause it's all the cartilage in the face and all that. Wow.
Damn.
Eyes, teeth. No. God, that is right. That is hard head cheese, huh? That's how y'all getting down out here. Damn. I have never, ever seen that. The brains.
I don't know.
Oh.
I doubt it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, people do it. Yeah. Where we at?
Leviticus chapter 6, verse 25.
Okay, Leviticus 26, verse 25. Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before the Most High. It is most holy. The priest that offer it for sin offering shall eat it. In the holy place shall it be eaten, in the court of the tabernacle of the congregation. Whatsoever shall touch the flesh thereof shall be holy. And when there is sprinkled of the blood thereof upon any garment, thou shalt wash that whereon it was sprinkled in the holy place. But the earthen vessel wherein it is sodden shall be broken. And if it is sodden in a brazen pot, it shall be both scoured and rinsed in water. All the males among the priests shall eat thereof. It is most holy. And no sin offering whereof any of the blood is brought into the tabernacle of the congregation to reconcile with all in the holy place shall be eaten. It shall be burnt in fire.
Any questions? You got a question?
So this is speaking of an animal.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Right.
just like the detail, like verse 28, it says, But the earthen vessel wherein it is soldered shall be broken, and if it be soldered in a brazen pot, it shall be both scored and rinsed in water. Why would they do that?
Why? Let's see here. So the earthen vessel, they break the earthen vessel, and all they're doing, I mean, to scour is just to wash. When you scour a pot, that's all it means is to wash it. But why would they break it?
Oh, they're talking about the pot.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. The earthen vessel. So we had clay pots, wherein it was sodden. Sodden means to boil.
Okay.
Shall be broken. So after you boiled this sin offering, if you boiled it in an earthen vessel, you got rid of that vessel because it's a sin offering. So it was all symbolic. It was, it's filled. But if it was a brazen pot or like some type of metal pot, then you would just scour the pot because then you just wouldn't get rid of pots all the time. You would just scour that pot, rinse it in water, and that would be that. Yeah. Go ahead. Where we at?
Leviticus chapter 7, verse 1. Likewise, this is the law of the trespass offering. It is most holy. In the place where they kill the burnt offering shall they kill the trespass offering. And the blood thereof shall be sprinkled round about upon the altar. And he shall offer it all the fat thereof, the rump, and the fat that covered the inwards, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the caul that is above the liver, with the kidneys it shall he take away. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar for an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a trespass offering. Every male among the priests shall eat thereof. It shall be eaten in the holy place. It is most holy.
Right. So remember, the way it's written, you would think like, wait a minute, we ate the kidney and the fat? No. We didn't eat the kidney and the fat. We didn't eat the fat covering the inwards. Right. It was taken away and burnt. You would eat thereof of all the other parts. Not the heart, not the liver. We didn't eat that stuff either. But it's just showing you, they would order these pieces on the grill or on the fire and let them burn. They would just burn up. Burn. Like yesterday with the lamb, we had lamb chops, play along, right? And they were some of them had like some thick fat on the back of it. So while it was cooking, I'll just let it cook and then I'll cut that fat off, let it just drop right into the coals. Sweet savior. Yeah, it smelled great. That fat just fall right in. That's where you get all that. That's where they say that's where the flavor is, because that is where the flavor is, in the meat. It's in the fat. We didn't eat that though. Like, I wasn't gonna eat that. I looked at that, I was like, ooh, it's fat like this thick going around that. I'm not eating that. I cut that right off and just let it fall right into the grates, right onto the coals. Rakatayah Bashin Yal Shot. Right? Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 7. As the sin offering is, so is the trespass offering. There is one law for them. The priest that maketh atonement therewith shall have it. And the priest that offereth any man's burnt offering, even the priest shall have to himself the skin of the burnt offering which he hath offered. And all the meat offering that is baked in the oven, and all that is dressed in the frying pan, and in the pan shall be the priest that offer it. And every meat offering mingled with oil and dry shall all the sons of Aaron have, one as much as another. And this is the law of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which he shall offer unto the Most High. If he offer it for a thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the sacrifice of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, and the cakes mingled with oil of fine flour, fried. Besides the cakes, he shall offer his offering leavened bread with the sacrifice of thanksgiving of his peace offerings. And of it he shall offer one out of the whole oblation for a heave offering unto the Most High.
Who eats fried bread? Like fried bread. What tribe does that? Like, you never heard like fried bread?
I heard that.
You heard of it? Who eats that? Whose thing is that? Fried
I think
bread.
that's like say Louisiana thing, but
Cause that's what they doing right here. They frying the bread. You see that? In verse 12, he said, anointed with oil and cakes mingled with oil of fine flour fried.
con.
We fried this bread up. I mean, come on. The closest thing to that right now is like a tortilla, right? Tortillas are basically unleavened. This flour, but there's no rising agent of corn, and we just flip them, right? You just fry them. Throw a little oil, fry them. Yeah. Come on, man.
Now, why do they keep the skin?
Hey,
Now, I can see
Maybe-
with the chicken, maybe.
maybe it was flavorful. I don't know. There is a lot of flavor in there. Like chicken. That chicken skin. Like black folks love chicken skin. Right?
You want it for a bit, huh?
Yeah. Like, give me the skin, it's the best part. Like, think about it. When you do like an oven roasted chicken or a rotisserie chicken, what you go for? I know what I go for.
Yeah. It's the most flavorful.
I go for the skin. I go for the like the breast with the skin on it. Like if it's roasted. Remember back in the day you had that fried chicken and you'd be like, man, let me get that skin. You eat the skin. Or if you do fried chicken, whoever you ate like KFC or Popeyes.
Con.
Eat that damn skin first. Right? All Popeyes is chicken mingled with flour.
Yes, it is.
And oil.
Yes,
And
it is.
salt.
And it's so good.
And that's it. That's all it is. Yeah. 11 herbs and spices.
Con.
The Colonel done bit off us.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? So
All of them did.
they all did, yeah. So yeah, I mean the skin.
Yeah, that skin, it's all in the flour, you know. Like the secret of Popeye, it's all in the flour.
It's all in the flour. All that seasoning. Yeah. So
Yeah, don't let the crumbs get down above me.
yeah, you be trying to tip over the box with the crumbs that come over it, 'cause they're crunchy. When that stuff fries up, yeah, it's wonderful. Where we at?
Verse 13. Besides the cakes, he shall offer for his offering leavened bread with sacrifice of thanksgiving of his peace offerings. And of it he shall offer one out of the whole oblation for an heave offering unto the Most High. and it shall be the priest that sprinkleth the blood of the peace offering. And the flesh, the sacrifice of his peace offering for thanksgiving, shall be eaten the same day that it is offered. He shall not leave any of it until the morning. But if the sacrifice of his offering be a vow or a voluntary offering, it shall be eaten the same day that he offered his sacrifice. And on the morrow also the remainder of it shall be eaten. But the remainder of the flesh of the sacrifice on the third day shall be burnt with fire. If any of the flesh, the sacrifice of his peace offering, be eaten at all on the third day, it shall not be accepted, neither shall it be imputed unto him that offered. It shall be an abomination, and the soul that eateth of it shall bear his iniquity. And the flesh.
Question real quick. It says about on the third day they'll be eaten. Verse 18, 17 and 18 talk about this peace offering being eaten on the third day. So that means they preserved this meat throughout the days while they were doing this.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah. We don't let them fool you and think because we didn't have refrigerators, we didn't know how to preserve food.
Right. I believe I like salt or something like that. Preserved.
Salt. Listen, we had we had ways of keeping things preserved. You bury stuff underground, keep it cool. We had ways. We had purification preservation processes. But yeah, we knew how to do it. We knew how to keep things preserved.
So kind of, if you
Yeah.
put something in like all salt or all sugar, it won't grow any bacteria.
Yeah, they cure it. You cure the meat in salt. It'll literally cook the meat. That's what they do it for, or they say it cooks the meat. I don't know, but Esau, they'll cure like pork or deer. They just put it in a salt bath and just sit it in there. Then they'll just hang it, and the salt will crust over, and it's supposed to cure the meat. I don't know what curing meat means. I don't know if that means it's cooked. I don't know what that means to cure meat, but it makes it edible where it's not raw. And it's still got the little salty flavor. What does it mean? Meat curing.
Curing meat definition. Curing is any of various food preservation and flavoring process of foods such as meat, fish, and vegetables by the addition of salt, with the aim of drawing moisture out of the food by the process of osmosis.
Right, because that's what salt does. Salt pulls the moisture out of anything. You drink enough salt, you'll get diarrhea. You put salt on chicken, when you season it, you notice that at the bottom of the bowl, all this liquid, it sucks the water out. All that water, all that bacteria is what all the disease and all that stuff. So you suck out the moisture and you get it dry, you'll prevent the disease, so you'll be cured. Duh. Right? So, but we had our methods of preservation for food.
Nice.
Yep. Where we at?
Verse 19. And the flesh that toucheth any unclean thing shall not be eaten. It shall be burnt with fire. And as for the flesh that be clean shall eat thereof. But so that eateth of the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offering, that pertaineth unto the Most High, having his uncleanness upon him, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, the soul that shall touch any unclean thing.
Hold on.
Next read it.
20.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much straightforward. This is just going through the various different offerings and the different laws of the offerings.
Yashikar, Shabbat Shah, Yashikar, Ban Yashala.
Yashikar, Shabbat Shah, Yashikar. Bon Yashala, man of Israel, I might Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatam.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. 2 Yash cards, the double Yash.
That was capital man yesterday. It was like Yashikar, Shabbat Shah Yashikar, Aban Yashikar.
That's verse 20. That's where he stopped.
Yeah, man. Happy Ashar Pasach to everyone. Happy Passover. Remember, Feast of Unleavened Bread, that goes until the, what did I put in the chat?
The first,
Is it the first?
April 1st, from yesterday to April 1st.
Yep. From last night, from sundown to April the 1st sundown. So, get the leaven out. Man, you know, when you look at it, if you follow these feast days and these different fasts, man, we can be in good health. So you give your body a break from all the filth. There's a lot of stuff that got leaven in it. It was a good way to just, yeah.
We are at Leviticus chapter 7 and verse 20. But the soul that eateth of the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offerings that pertain unto the Lord, having his uncleanness upon him, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, the soul that toucheth any unclean thing, as the uncleanness of man, or any unclean beast, or any abominable unclean thing, and eat of the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which pertain unto the Lord, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. So is that like how Esau did it? He just kind of went in on it.
I don't understand what you mean.
Like when he got when he was like, Jacob, let me get some of that. Let me get some of that food and stuff. Because even to have this in the law, like, you know, if you eat something that you shouldn't be.
Moreover, the soul that shall touch any unclean thing as the uncleanness of man, or any unclean beast, or any abominable unclean thing, and eat the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offering. So you weren't supposed to be, you couldn't do this and touch their bodies. You couldn't have touched their body and then went and ate the sacrifice. Well, you're supposed to be set apart. So that's what it's going into. It's showing you that you have to be clean to eat the sacrifice. Right? Watch, verse 21. Moreover, the soul that shall touch any unclean thing, and it's going to tell you what the unclean things are, as the uncleanness of man. So what is the uncleanness of man? Well, blood, open sores, right? Or any beast. What's the unclean beast? You might have touched an unclean animal, right? By accident. Or eat the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offering, and eat the flesh of the sacrifice of peace offering, which pertain to the Lord. Even that soul shall be cut off from his people. So he'd have to be set apart. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there were some filthy people still, even at that time, doing this wickedness.
Come. Oh yeah, but think about it. Yeah, there were. So he was just saying you couldn't eat the sacrifice and be unclean. You see that? You have to be clean.
And the cleansing process was what, 7 days?
Depends on what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, everything was different. It depends on what it was. You touched a dead body, you have to go through the water purification, the ashes. That was what, 7 days. If you had leprosy, you couldn't eat this. Remember leprosy? It would throw you in a spot for 3 days, come back, check on you, and after 7 days, they would deem you clean or good or not.
So it's just showing you the different ways, the different stipulations where you could eat the peace offering or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
I found in Leviticus chapter 15, verse 31, the separation from uncleanness.
Right. Yep.
It says, Leviticus chapter 15, verse 31 says, separation, verse 31. Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness. They defile my tabernacle that is among them. This is the law of him that hath an issue.
Right. Could have a blood issue, an open cut, open sore. Go ahead.
And of him whose seed goeth from him.
Right. Because what made a man unclean? His seed of copulation going out from him. Anything that it touched was unclean. You see that? So you couldn't have sexual intercourse and then 5 minutes later went and ate the sacrifice. You had to wait for the sun to go down to be deemed. It said you'd be unclean until the even.
Right.
When your seed of copulation goes from you. So in order to eat the sacrifice, I'd have to wait for the sun to go down. If I had intercourse with my wife. Y'all see that? Right. Go ahead.
And is defiled therewith.
Right.
And of her that is sick of her flowers.
Right. If a woman is on her menstrual cycle, go ahead.
And of him that hath an issue.
Right.
Of that man and of the woman, and of him that lieth with her, that is unclean.
All right. So if I lie with a woman, can you please explain what it means to be cut off from his people? You have to separate them. That's all it means. It's nothing deep. We weren't just killing people because they were unclean. It's the same thing. When a man was unclean, let's go back to Leviticus real quick. Plague of leprosy. Separation, right? Watch. Read Leviticus 15 and verse 16.
Leviticus chapter 15, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him,
right,
then he shall wash all his flesh in water,
right,
and be unclean until the even.
Right, so he was separated till the even. Jump up. Let's go to, let's see here, when he had an issue. No. Right, go over to Leviticus 15. Read verse 19.
Verse 19. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood,
right,
she shall be put apart.
She shall be what?
Put apart.
Right. Or that soul is separated from the people, cut off from the people. Go ahead.
7 days.
7 days. So that cutting off didn't mean we just killed people or put them to death or anything like that. They were just cut off for the time of their uncleanness. They had a time to become cleaned again. You see that? So they weren't supposed to go in and eat the sacrifice. If a woman was on her menstrual cycle, 7 days was she cut off from the people. So whatever sacrifice was going on, whatever ceremony, whatever feast, she wasn't able to partake.
Right.
She couldn't eat of the sacrifice. If a man was issuing blood, like let's say we went to war and you come back injured, right? And you pussing out and bleeding everywhere, and they had to put like a shunt in your arm to drain the blood, or if you had some type of disease that required the blood to be drained, you didn't go amongst the congregation and sit with everybody because that would be deemed unclean. So you were cut off from the people. You're going to be in the infirmary. If you had leprosy, you were cut off from the people until your leprosy was deemed either clean leper or leprosy where it was the one that would spread. You see that? So that's what it means to be cut off. You cut them off for that unclean time, for them to get back clean. All right? That's what y'all was asking.
And in verse 28, chapter 15, verse 28 and 29 and 30, it talks about the after. So it goes on to say, but if she be cleansed from her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days.
Right.
And after that she shall be clean.
Right.
And on the 8th day she shall take unto her 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons,
Right.
and bring them unto the priest,
Right.
to the door of the tabernacle.
See, let me ask y'all a question. What brother is making his rib after she has her period go sacrifice 2 turtle doves? You so-called law keepers. Got him. See, after your rib had her period, she's supposed to go do this. After she got off her menstrual cycle on that 7th day, she was supposed to take a turtle dove on the 8th and go sacrifice to the Most High. Blood for blood. Who's doing this? Where is that? Where my Old Testament brews at? See?
Well, let me ask a question. What it's saying, well, this is what I'm getting out of it. They said she had the issue for 7 days. They said, but if she be clean of her issue, then she shall number of herself 7 days. So 7 more days. So 14 days.
No.
That's not saying that?
No. It's 7 days. Watch. It's 7. Where we at? 15, right? It says, but if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she can be clean. So she don't number 7 more days.
Okay.
And on the 8th day, that's how we know it's not 7 plus 7, 14. It's 7 plus 1 is 8. Verse 29. On the 8th day she shall take 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons and bring them into the priest in the door of the tabernacle of the combination.
Okay.
The priest shall offer them. Now, let's say her menstrual went longer than 7 days, then she would have to number herself 7 more days.
Okay.
Right. That's how you got 14 days if her blood went longer than normal. 7 days was the completion cycle. But if she went past 7 days, then she'd have to do another 7 days,
Okay.
which was 14.
Done.
But my point is, so you get that.
Done.
Who's bringing turtle doves after they're done with their menstrual? See what I'm saying? Guys swear up and down that they're keeping that law, but they ain't doing this part. They ain't doing that part. That. Right? Go to, when you read verse 31. Read verse 31 in Leviticus 15.
Verse 31. Thus shall you separate the children of Yasharallah from their uncleanness.
You see that? You separate the children, you cut them off because of that uncleanness. Go ahead.
That they die not in their uncleanness.
Go ahead.
When they defile my tabernacle that is among them.
Right. You see that? Remember when the priest went in there with an unclean mind? Man down, right? Drag him out. He dropped. That ain't no bells ringing. The Most High was saying, listen, remember, we couldn't even poop in the camp. The Most High said, I dwell among you. I don't want to smell that. I don't want to walk in that. I don't want to see that. You're going to go outside the camp with that filth, and you're going to bury that in the dirt. So there's no smell, so nobody can step in it, track it back. Right? So if we couldn't even poo, defecate in our dwelling quarters for uncleanness, why would we be able to dwell and sit and eat the sacrifice to the Most High that was supposed to signify our cleanliness?
So true.
Wasn't the sacrifice supposed to clean us from our sins? Symbolically? Right? We know that blood of bulls don't clean the conscience, but symbolically, when we did that offering of sin offering, trespass, peace, burnt, it was all saying, listen, I'm dirty, clean me up. So you couldn't be dirty and then try to say, clean me up. You'd have to wait till your uncleanness was gone. So that cut them off until they're clean. Now you can come partake in the sacrifice. Yeah, that's a big cut. Bukar, that's a big cut. Tell them to go get their turtle doves and their pigeons. Tell them to bring those. Cats a lot of cats, man, they gotta they such law keepers. They such about that law. Like, where your fringes at? Well, where's your turtle dove for your ribs menstrual? You know what I'm saying? Where's that at? So anyway, let's jump back. Hopefully, Dawiyad, you got that. Hopefully that made sense and it was clear. We'll jump back. Let me know. Jump back to Leviticus what?
Leviticus chapter 7 and verse 23.
Right.
Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, saying, Ye shall eat no matter of fat of ox or of sheep or of goat.
Go ahead.
And the fat of the beast that dieth of itself, and the fat of that which is torn with beasts may be used in any other use, but ye shall in no wise eat of it.
Right, so we didn't eat the fat. You would trim that fat, you would sacrifice that fat on the altar, burn it up, boom. Give that to the Most High. What's that? William.
So if an animal like died of itself or that was killed by another animal, you could sacrifice that, you just couldn't eat it.
Right. It says, well, see, it's going into the fat. So you can use, remember, you could use fat for many different, there's different things you could use fat for. The oil, the fat is like the oil. So you could use it for different things. But it's saying the fat of the beast that dieth of itself and the fat of that which is torn with beasts, it may be used in any other use, but you can't eat it.
Oh, you couldn't say, no, that's not saying.
Right, so you wouldn't even sacrifice it. You can cut it off, burn it up, or use it for any other thing, but you can't eat the fat.
Right.
So he's telling us here, no matter what, don't eat the fat. Don't eat the fat if it's a lawful animal. Don't eat the fat if the animal died of itself, it was killed. Don't eat the fat. Go ahead.
Verse 25. For whosoever eateth the fat of the beast, of which men offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord, even the soul that eateth it shall be cut off from his people.
Right, so think about it. You can't get all the fat trimmings off of an animal.
True.
Right? It's like when you get a nice steak and that Wagyu beef, that the steak is this big and it costs $99 because of the marbleization of the meat to fat content. And because it's so beautifully marbleized, that meat got a lot of flavor. You can't cut out all that fat. You cook it, it renders down, and a lot of that fat melts away anyhow. But you have certain cuts of meat, like, man, it's disgusting. But when they be eating pork belly, you ever see them cook a pork belly? It's like a slab of meat, like this, but the fat is like that thick. And they got to cut off a lot of that fat. And then the rest of it kind of, depending on how they cook it, it gets real crispy if they smoke it. And you'll have a pocket of fat that thick. And they eat it. They eat that sucker, all that fat. Con, it's nasty.
That's like eating manure. When
Brisket got, as I say, like brisket has a lot of fat
pieces.
They got a thick piece. Now this is the thing. Why do you keep the fat on the meat?
Flavor.
Flavor and what else? It don't dry out depending on how you're cooking it. But you're supposed to cut that fat away and get rid of that, not eat it. Or if you get the fatty part, sometimes you get the fatty part of a piece of meat. You go to a restaurant, you go to a Jamaican spot, and you like, yo, give me the oxtail. And sometimes you get some fatty oxtail. That means they didn't trim their meat well, but you weren't supposed to swallow that down, or you get a fatty part of the goat. Nah, you get rid of that fatty part. You eat the meat and you toss that fat. You wasn't supposed to eat that. Sometimes people don't trim their meat well. Me, I like to trim my meat. I don't like to cook with all that fat. You can get flavor in different ways. You can get flavor without fat. Think about it. Burgers, hamburger meat ain't that fatty, but you can still get a good flavor from hamburger meat.
Sure.
Just get your pan real nice and hot and get a good sear going. Salt, pepper. That's all you really need for flavor. And then you add your fixings later. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
Some cats like hot sauce. Some cats like, you know what I mean, mayo. Some cats like, you know what I mean, Miracle Whip. I'm a mayo guy. You know what I mean? Ketchup, mayo, mustard. But you can get flavor in other ways. You don't always got to be about the fat. But the point was, even if you cooked with it, you were supposed to get rid of that fat. You see that? Go ahead. Where we at?
Verse 26.
Right. You see, because how do we know that we cooked with it? Well, whosoever eateth the fat of the beast, of which men offer to an offering. So it was cooked with the fat. You just weren't supposed to eat the fat. It was supposed to cook off, or you cut that away and let that burn up. Y'all see that? Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 26. Moreover, ye shall eat no manner of blood.
No manner of blood. So you weren't supposed to eat bloody meat or anything that had this blood. It wasn't supposed to be medium. Rare. I like mine mooing. I like it rare. That's Disgusting.
Bring it to me wiggling.
Bring it to you still mooing. Yeah, like sushi cow? Nah, we good. Sushimi? Your cow is like sushimi? What do they do though? They give you tartar, steak tartar. It's minced up cow meat. That's raw.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bam, yeah. But some spots you go, it's literally minced up so fine that they just let you just eat it raw.
Dang.
Yeah. Steak tartare? Yeah. Go to certain places in New York and you get that Wagyu beef or that Kobe beef. They give it to you raw. They slice it so thin. It's like Bible paper thin, this meat. And they just, you know, get their little chopsticks, boom, boom. Dip it in the sauce, a little salt, boom. They eat it raw. You wasn't supposed to eat it raw.
Damn.
It was supposed to be cooked. You got your hand? You got your
I
hand
was
up?
gonna say when I was little,
Uh-huh.
used to eat like the hot dogs, like straight out the pack.
Damn, really?
And one time it made me sick, and I stopped eating hot dogs even when I was little.
Yeah, because you're supposed to heat that up. That was supposed to get to a temperature, because it's already pre-cooked. But then when you cool that meat down, you're supposed to warm up hot dogs and bologna, all that stuff. My bologna has a first name. You're supposed to warm that up to an internal temperature, I think about at least 160, something like that.
Bologna?
Yeah, you're supposed to warm all that stuff up. That's why people be getting E. coli.
Wow.
Yeah,
didn't know that.
there's disease in that. Listen, even cold cuts. Cold cuts, they say you're really supposed to warm those up to kill the bacteria that's living on top of the surface. God. Yeah.
That's a new one for me.
It's cooked, but it's cold. So do you just pull cold chicken out the fridge and eat it?
Nah, drop it in the sandwich, baby.
No, but listen, are you gonna pull a cold chicken wing out the fridge and eat
Nah, I
it?
wouldn't do that.
It's the same thing. Just because it's cut, but my point is, it's cut so thin, you're not realizing.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it carries bacteria. So you were supposed to warm that up. Like, you know what I hit? I be hitting like, if I do sandwiches now, I go to Shalasky's. Because they do warm sandwiches. The meat is warm.
Word.
Bro.
Word.
Yeah, you get like warm roast beef.
The dipping sauce.
With the Wagyu, with the au jus. You get the warm turkey sandwich. It's bad. Shalasky's is banging. I like warm sandwiches.
I ain't never been there.
Shalasky's is banging.
It look great. Like it look
Yeah, that au jus sauce. You call it au jus. You just dip away. Yeah, but that meat's warm. So, should you eat sugar bun or cornbread that baked with shortening? Because shortening is, no. You don't. There's a vegetarian cornbread you can get. Back in the day, nobody knew. You was eating cornbread, and it had the lard in it. So you get the vegetarian cornbread. It's the box with it got the green vegetarian label. You don't want to eat the one with shortening because yes, it's pig lard. No Miracle Whip, man. We ain't doing that. It's very pricey, nasty. Yeah, Miracle Whip isn't Israelite. Bakar said Miracle Whip is not an Israelite custom. We did mayo.
They giving that away at Kroger right now.
Right, they giving it away. Bro, you can't pay me to eat Miracle Whip. That is disgusting.
I ain't gonna lie, I eat Miracle Whip.
Yeah, I don't mess with Miracle Whip. I didn't know where Miracle Whip was until I moved to Colorado. I'm like, what the hell is this tangy stuff on my sandwich? I'm like, oh, that's Miracle Whip. Like, where's the mayo? Where's the Hallman's? Where's the, you know what I'm saying? Where's the mayo at? I want it thick. Like egg yolk. That thick white paste. Anyhow, maybe the Miracle Whip is a Benjamin thing. No, it's not. I don't mess with Miracle Whip. No Miracle Whip. Yeah, I don't mess with Miracle Whip. That is disgusting. I'm not a Miracle Whipper. I learned that Miracle Whip was for salads. It's salad dressing. It says it on the bottle.
And you can put Miracle Whip on anything, bro.
See, that's the problem.
That's it.
That's like putting hot sauce on everything. Hot sauce don't belong on everything. Look.
Man.
Argue with me. Not
See, I haven't stayed over here on my side. We got talking about Miracle. I was like,
But then when I say hot sauce, cats want to turn up. I'm not a hot sauce guy. Anyhow, let's finish it up. Where we at?
Verse 27. Whatsoever so it be that eateth any manner of blood even that soul shall be cut off from his people.
Yeah, you didn't die. When it said cut off, let's deal with the situation with Saul. Remember when Saul made the vow when they were chasing down the Philistines, and he made the vow that no man could eat until all the Philistines were wiped out? Jonathan ate, the people were faint, and then as soon as they got into the land and start killing the people, they start sacrificing, but they were so hungry, so they ate with blood. They didn't get put to death. They knew the law, but they were so hungry they couldn't wait for that meat to cook. So they ate with blood, and then Saul called them all over like, okay, don't eat with blood. Let's make sure we cook the food. So that cutting them off, it wasn't necessary that you died right there on the spot. All right? That blood defiles you. It tells you the life is in the blood. So you didn't deal with the blood. That's why you didn't deal with the blood organs. The heart, the kidneys, the liver, because the heart pumps the blood, so that's filled with blood. The kidney and the livers, those filter the blood. So you definitely didn't eat those things. That's why when you eat like liver, remember when you ate liver back in the day, liver and onions, it tastes like iron.
Tastes like crap, bro.
Yeah, it had that real irony metal taste. Well, that's all the blood, all the iron that's being filtered through the blood in the liver.
Dang.
Hey, I grew up in Jamaica. We ate liver. We ate liver. I mean, it is what it was. I didn't know no better. I was a kid. I haven't eaten liver in, it's been years. It's been years. It got a whole distinct taste from the animal. You know, so let's see here. Regardless, Miracle Whip is discussing. Right. Yeah, man. Is that why pregnant women are told to eat deli meat? Right. Pregnant women are told not to eat deli meat when they're pregnant. Unless it's cooked. Unless it's heated up.
Didn't know.
Because of the risk of salmonella and Ebola to her and to the fetus. Yeah. Yep. Good point. Liver and onions smell good, but it tastes bad. Bro, it actually didn't even taste bad. It wasn't like it tasted bad. It was just had a distinct, you knew you was eating liver, but now I understand the function. That's where the filter is, because you literally eating the blood cleaner. That's what your liver does in your body. It cleans your blood.
Liver tastes like boo-boos, bro.
It depends on how you cook it. Hey. Maybe Issachar wasn't hooking it up like that.
They weren't, because it didn't taste good at all.
Benjamin used to hook that liver up. We used to get that liver popping. Hell yeah. Come on. We make chicken feet look good.
That's so true, though.
We make chicken foot soup look good. I'll drink the soup, but I don't mess with the feet. That's pointless to me. Ain't no meat on that.
My grandmother, she would make the chicken necks.
Chicken neck? Yeah, listen, we take chicken back and got no meat on it and turn that into a delicacy.
Churches.
Huh?
Churches.
Yeah, come on, man. Where we at?
Gizzards.
Verse 28. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, saying, He that offereth the sacrifice of his peace offerings unto the Most High shall bring his oblation unto the Most High of the sacrifice of his peace offerings. His own hands shall bring the offering unto the Lord made by fire.
You see that? Remember you asked about that last week? It's telling you here, his own hands shall bring these offerings. Go ahead.
The fat with the breast, it shall he bring, that the breast may be waved for a wave offering before the Lord. And the priest shall burn the fat upon the altar, but the breast shall be Aaron's and his sons.
That breast meat.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, that breast meat. Wait, the breast meat is what meat? That's the white meat, right? The real meaty? Yeah. Yeah, I like that type of meat. I'm not a dark meat type of guy when it comes to like my meat. Like chicken. I don't like dark meat. They say it's more flavor because it got the bone. Man, I don't got time to pick through no bones. Because where there's bone, there's too much fat. I despise chicken legs. If anybody that knows me, I despise chicken legs. Serve me, do not give me a chicken leg. I ain't gonna eat it. I don't care what it tastes like. I'm not eating no chicken legs. I'm not doing it. It just, the chicken leg got too much fat for me, and it got that tendon that you can't get rid of. I don't mess with that. I just don't like it. That's one cut of meat. I just don't mess with. I'm a breast guy. Breast and wing. Give me that. Right? So, if I ever pull up to your house, nah, beggars can't be choosers. If I ever pull up to your house and you gave me some food, I'm gonna eat it. I'll make do, but if we can help it, man, get the priest a breast and a wing. Right. Go ahead. Where we at?
Verse 32. And the right shoulder shall ye give unto the priest for an heave offering of the sacrifices of your peace offering.
Right. That shoulder meat. I believe when you're dealing with the cow, that's where they get the filet mignon. Right? Is it the shoulder? It's a part of the shoulder. The meat is so. Look it up for me. I think it's the filet mignon they get. The shoulder they get that from the shoulder of the cow.
Which one's the Angus?
Angus beef, Angus cut. I forget, man. I got it in my head how they butcher the cow and then what cuts. I forgot though. But then that shoulder, because there's not a lot of movement on that shoulder, that meat is tender, if I'm not mistaken. There's no tendon in there. There's no bone, obviously. So you could, if I'm not mistaken, you're giving that tender piece to the priest, man.
God.
What cut of the cow does filet mignon come from?
Come from the back.
Oh, the back? Oh, the tenderloin. Okay, I was wrong. Yeah.
And mine it says the chuck on the shoulder.
Yeah, from the smaller end of the tenderloin. Watch. There it is. Yeah. The loin, the tenderloin. That's like the back.
It's like a backstrap part.
Kind of like chuck. Well, it's the shoulder. Showing here. Yeah.
Chuck, right?
Well, it could be because the back of the cow is pretty much.
Shoulder.
Find it right now. But yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch those shows where they butcher cows. That's tenderloin. Oh no, that's a tenderloin roast and tenderloin steak and tri-tip. Where's the fillet? The filet mignon.
The 4/4?
No, 4/4. But the point was you gave that shoulder to the priest. Y'all see that? Yeah, it can't. Okay, that's what it was. The filet mignon comes from the tip of the tenderloin. It's like the tip of it. So that's kind of towards the back where there's not that much work being happening. But okay, let's read on.
Nice.
Verse 33. He among the sons of Aaron that offereth the blood of the peace offerings and the fat shall have the right shoulder for his part. For the waved breast and the heaved shoulder have I taken of the children of Yasharallah from off the sacrifices of their peace offerings, and have given them unto Aaron the priest and to his sons by a statute forever from among the children of Yasharallah. This is the portion of the anointing of Aaron and the anointing of his sons, which the Lord commanded to be given them of the children of Yasharallah, in the day that he anointed them by a statute forever throughout the generations. This is the law of the burnt offering, of the meat offering, and of the sin offering, and of the trespass offering, and of the consecrations, and of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, which the Most High commanded Moses in Mount Sinai in that day that he commanded the children of Yasharallah to offer their oblations unto the Most High in the wilderness of Sinai.
Listen, that was a lot to read, and Moses had to remember that verbatim and just tell that to him. That was a lot to read, man. Angus is a breed of cow. Yeah. Yeah, I never heard of Angus cut. Okay.
And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Take Aaron and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and a bullock for the sin offering, and 2 rams, and a basket of unleavened bread. And gather thou all the congregation together at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Moses did as the Lord commanded him, and the assembly was gathered together unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Was that it?
That was
Yeah, come on.
that was number 3.
So that was number, where'd you read to?
Number 3. That ain't 4.
Right. Two. Yeah, go ahead, read. You're gonna read. He's gonna read Leviticus to 8 and 36. And then you'll jump over here.
Huh?
Right. So we're short on readers. He'll read 2, I'll read 2.
Okay.
Unless somebody pops in. The tenderloin is the back strap, and the tenderloin on the back. Right, the tenderloin is on the back, yeah. And that filet mignon comes from the that tip, that part of the animal that's not used. That's why it's so delicate. Filet mignon, bro. Woo!
It's good.
Oh yeah, very very tasty. Butter basted. Where we at?
Leviticus chapter 8 and verse 5. And Moses said unto the congregation, This is the thing which the Lord had commanded to be done. And Moses brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water. And he put upon him the coats, and the girded him with the girdle, and clothed him with the robe, and put the ephod upon him. And he girdled him with the curious girdle of the ephod, played the Urim and the Thummim.
Right, we went over a nice class about the Urim and the Thummim, which is a Warium and Thummim, lights of perfection. Right, you gotta watch that class. It was a good one.
Very good.
Go ahead.
And he put the mitre upon his head, and also upon the mitre, even upon his forefront, did he put the golden plate, the holy crown, as the Most High commanded Moses. And Moses took the anointing oil, and anointed the tabernacle and all that was therein, and sanctified them. And he sprinkled thereof upon the altar 7 times, and anointed the altar and all his vessels, both the laver and his foot, to sanctify them.
Right, the lever and the foot, that had to do with what? The washing bowl, right? The water that was in between the tabernacle and the Most High and the people. Go ahead.
And he poured of the anointing oil upon Aaron's head, and anointed him, and sanctified him. And Moses brought Aaron's sons, and put coats upon them, and girded them with girdles, and put bonnets upon them, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he brought the bullock for a sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the bullock for the sin offering. And he slew it, and Moses took the blood, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about with his finger, and purified the altar, and poured the blood at the bottom of the altar, and sanctified it, to make reconciliation upon it. And he took all the fat that was upon the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and their fat, and Moses burned it upon the altar. But the bullock, and his hide, his flesh, and his dung, he burnt with fire without the camp, as the Most High commanded Moses. And he brought the ram for the burnt offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram, and he killed it. And Moses sprinkled the blood upon the altar round about. And he cut the ram into pieces, and Moses burnt the head, and the pieces, and the fat. And he washed the inwards and the legs in water. And Moses burnt the whole ram upon the altar. It was a burnt sacrifice for a sweet savor, and an offering made by fire unto the Most High, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he brought the other ram, the ram of consecration. And Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram, and he slew it. And Moses took of the blood of it, and put it upon the tip of Aaron's right ear, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And he brought Aaron's sons, and Moses put off the blood upon the tip of their right ear, and upon the thumbs of their right hands, and upon the great toes of their right feet. And Moses sprinkled the blood upon the altar round about. And he took the fat, and the rump, and all the fat that was upon the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and their fat, and their right shoulder. And out of the basket the unleavened bread that was before the Most High. And he took the unleavened cake, and a cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafer, and put them on the fat and upon the right shoulder. And he put all upon Aaron's hands and upon all his sons' hands, and waved them for a wave offering before the Most High. And Moses took them from off their hands, and burnt them on the altar upon the burnt offering. They were consecrations for a sweet savor. It is an offering made by fire unto the Most High. And Moses took the breast and waved it for a wave offering before the Most High. For of the ram of consecration it was Moses' part, as the Lord commanded Moses. And Moses took of the anointing oil and of the blood that was upon the altar, and sprinkled it upon Aaron, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon his sons' garments with him, and sanctifying Aaron, and his garments, and his sons' garment with him. And Moses said unto Aaron and his sons, Boil the flesh at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and there eat it with the bread that is in the basket of consecrations, as I commanded, saying, Aaron and his sons shall eat it. And that which remaineth of the flesh and of the bread shall ye burn with fire. And ye shall not go out of the door of the tabernacle of the congregation in 7 days, until the days of your consecration be at an end. For 7 days shall he consecrate you. And he had done this day, so the Lord had commanded to do, to make an atonement for you. Therefore shall ye abide at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation day and night 7 days, and keep the charge of the Most High, that ye die not, for so I am commanded. So Aaron and his sons did all things which the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses.
Is that verse? You gotta go like all the way to 36.
You know what's so beautiful about these scriptures right here, please? Starting at, well, all in general, but starting at Leviticus chapter 8, verse 14, all the way down, Moses is setting the standard of what the priests and Aaron and the sons of Aaron have to do from then on out.
Yep.
And I bring that up because, you know, we're on take forth what Shaddai has to take forth, following Please Barnabas, following you, and with the mindset of like the spirit of being a soldier is like, okay, follow instructions. The way I'm doing this from here on out, you gotta do it. So Moses himself did every little thing from sprinkling the blood, putting it behind the ear, all the way down to Aaron, this is gonna be your portion of meat. Don't forget it, and we're gonna be fine. And just seeing that, just those details within this story itself is resonating with me because of just that fact. Like, I gotta stay on point. It's a beautiful thing just to see this start unfolding within my spirit and in my mind. Like, okay, Moses was the man. That was the guy.
Yeah, that's why, you know, when you read Timothy's, go there real quick. 2 Timothy 2.
Okay.
You know, this is what it's about. 2 Timothy 2. And verse 2.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 2. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men.
That's what it's about, is committing things to men that are faithful. Why? So that they can take what they've learned and commit them to other men. And you hand, you know, whatever it is. Whether it's running a business the right way, whether it's the scriptures, the law, whatever it is, it's about
who's faithful enough to hold the standard?
Con.
You know, Timothy wasn't building, or Paul wasn't building with cats that wasn't going to be about a standard. So they had to be found faithful when they got sent off to their different places, their different churches. They had to be found faithful enough to hold the standard, not switch up when nobody was around, and then commit those things to others, who shall be able to teach others also. So there wasn't just I'm holding the standard, but now can I teach? So that's what it's about, being a soldier, but then now growing into it. Growing from a soldier into now a leader. A soldier is about following orders. Officer or bishop, that's about being a leader. But I had to be one thing first. That's why I read verse 3.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua.
The hardness was being able to sit back, be taught, and hold to it, and not get presumptuous, not, but still hold the standard. Right? So, everything he's saying is on point.
And it's a good point too, because you know, in this new enterprise that we're diving into, there's so much lessons like back to back. And what was registering me with this past week, the saying that yesterday, like every moment is a teaching moment, every moment is a learning moment, right?
Yep.
And with that understanding, it's like I do not want to pick up any bad habits. Bad habits are disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, even at that, within the standard of everything, envision if Moses himself took a short.
Picked them up. I mean, so true. And no matter what, Moses came and delivered things perfectly, and we still found a way to pick up bad habits.
And with that understanding as well, re-examining myself, re-examining my past, re-examining my iniquities and my transgressions and my shortcomings and the repercussions for all of that, I'm like, oh my God.
Take a mighty buck kickings.
Right.
Coming to the heart. Oh my God.
Let's jump over to Malachi. Malachi 3:1. So we're done with Leviticus. Any questions on Leviticus 3:1?
Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Oh, we done to verse 9.
Come. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he will prepare the way before me. And the Most High, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenants, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Most High of hosts.
So this is not talking about the Most High, though. This is talking about Yahushua.
Okay.
Right. Go ahead.
Get me?
Just like in Amos when it says, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord, for what shall it be to you? Right? Amos 5:18. For the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Right? So, you know, it's going back, reiterating. Who's going to be able to abide in the day of the Lord's coming? Go ahead.
And who will stand when he appeareth?
Mm-hmm.
For he is like the refiner's fire,
Right?
and like fuller's soap.
Yeah, you know when they make soap, and if it's not cured, it'll burn you? You know that, right? You gotta let soap sit for like a month for it to cure, because that lye, it'll burn your skin. Like if you make soaps and you use lye, you gotta wear gloves, because it'll burn your hands up. The refiner's fire, it's gonna burn you up. So what is he saying? He's gonna burn away that wickedness. But from who? Go ahead.
And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver.
Go ahead.
He shall purify the sons of Levi.
Wait, he should do what?
Purify the sons of Levi.
Read.
And purge them as gold and silver.
Right?
That they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness.
Right, because you can't be as the Levites are now, doing voodoo, Haitian Zopound, just being wicked, and think that, oh, I'm gonna offer to the Lord. He gotta clean Levi up. Listen, if you just go look at Haiti, it's the poorest country on the face of the earth.
Yep.
And it's been like that for a long.
before they got earthquakes, before that last earthquake hit them, it was the poor country. I mean, come on, man. You got Haiti poorer than the countries in Africa. It's bad business for Levi over there, man. The darker you are, the worse it is. But the Most High said, I'm going to refine y'all. I'm going to clean y'all up. Judgment will begin at my house first. Levi been catching hell.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Most High, unto the Lord.
Right, I got to get the priests right so that when they offer the offering, it's pleasant. You can't be dirty and be trying to offer offering for somebody else. I'm not going to accept that. Go ahead.
As in the days of old, as in the former days.
Right, the ancient days, going back to Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Go ahead.
And I will come near to you to judgment.
Right.
And I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers.
Against the what?
Against the sorcerers.
All that voodoo that Levi be out there doing. He said he's going to have them in swift judgment. Go ahead.
And against the adulterers.
Go ahead.
And against the false swearers. And against those that oppress the hirelings.
So all manner of fraud. Remember we talked about trespass against your brother? All manner of fraud against your brother, which is really against the Most High. And trespass and sin. He said he's going to wipe that out, man. Go ahead.
In his wages, the widow and the fatherless, that turn aside the stranger from his rights, and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from my ordinances, and have not kept them.
Go ahead.
Return unto me, and I will return unto you. Say.
So he's saying, listen, even though you Negroes, I was reading something the other day. What was I reading? What was I reading? Scripture I was reading, and it was basically like, choose you this day. Remember when Moses said, choose you this day, life or death? I pray that you choose life, but I think it's in like Ezekiel, where he said we chose death.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, we just chose death. Like, we had the law, and then we just chose to die. It's the same thing here, where we chose death, but the Most High didn't utterly consume us. He said, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. He said, I left a remnant, right? You read in Isaiah, you read in Romans. He said, a very small remnant that didn't bow the knee. If I didn't leave a remnant, this world would be a Sodom and Gomorrah. So there was always a remnant to keep the ordinances and the traditions and the language alive and keep the remnant of the people going until we come back into our fullness. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord of hosts, but ye said, wherein shall we return?
Yeah, he's like, man, come back home. You like, what home? Come back home. Nah, that ain't my home. Africa's my home, right? Wherein shall we return? No, come back. Stop eating pork. No, that's my food. Just, learn your nationality. No, I'm American. I'm proud. That's how we sound to the Most High. Like, wherein shall we return? Like, where? That ain't. I don't know about no Jerusalem. Right? Come back to your nationality. Get off the Kemet. Nah, Kemet? Nah, we all Africans. Well, what tribe in Kemet are you from? Oh, okay.
Come on.
That's our mind state, though. It's like, wherein shall we return? Where we going to return to what? I'm comfortable here. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein had we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings.
And I'll read on. Malachi 3 and... Oh, no, go ahead.
Ye are cursed with the curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation.
Right. We stopped doing the things that please the Most High. We stopped offering the wave, the peace offering, the burnt offering. We stopped doing these willing sacrifices just from way back. Then we stopped giving ourselves as a living sacrifice to the Most High. We stopped giving our minds to the Most High and give our minds to everything else. So it's all across the board. We can't escape it, whether it be a physical or a spiritual sacrifice. We stop doing it.
Yep.
Verse 10, Malachi 3:10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts.
if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. You see that? He said, prove me. He said, you bring something to my house so it's filled, and watch me open up. Watch me let it rain. Watch me open up the windows of heaven and make it so abundant for you, you can't even receive it.
Man.
You can't receive all the blessing. Just give me a little piece. Give me my 10%. Have a faith of a mustard seed and watch me increase you.
Come on.
You see that?
Come on.
11, and I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes.
Man.
And he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. Woo. That's going into the curses, man. He said, listen, I'll get rid of the curses. I'll get rid of the devourer. I'll get rid of the fierce nation with a fierce countenance that won't regard young or old. I'll make sure your vine buds and you got the best grapes and food and wine. I'll make sure of these things, but give to me. Cleave unto me, and I will cleave unto you.
God.
It's not the other way around, man. We think like, oh, the Most High got to come to me. Hell nah. Who's you?
That's right.
You know how you do the thing with your parents? You haven't talked to your parents in a while? And they'd be like, boy, you know you can call me. And you like, the phone works 2 ways. It don't work like that with the Most High. Like the phone works 2 ways. Nigga, what is you going to give up? What are we going to give up to show the Most High that we're worthy?
That's right.
What are you willing to give up and sacrifice to show the Most High that he should even pay attention to whatever you're doing? Think about how much Solomon had to sacrifice to get the attention of the Most High. Just to get his attention.
It's true.
And that was carnal. How much more the spirit? Or how much less the spirit? If you just give your little bit of spirit, man, how much the Most High will say, you know what? He's trying. She's trying. Boom, let me increase her. Let me increase him. But a lot of us, man, we deny everything from the door. We're anti from the door. Oh, I ain't doing that. Oh, I ain't doing that. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, I don't feel like doing that. Oh, why I gotta do that? So the Most High is like, well, why the hell do I gotta do anything for you?
So true.
You're always anti, so he's anti also. He said he changed not. When we became anti, he cut us off.
That's right.
Like the spoiled little children that we were. Right? When we
God.
decided to play ball, the Most High said, you know what, I'll receive you. We got to see it. Malachi 3:10 is one of the Christian church's favorite scriptures. Yeah. But it's true. It's true. I mean, it's true. You give yourself the Most High. This ain't just about money. They use it for the money side. And it's true to the carnal side, but how much more the spirit? You give a little bit, and the Most High could increase. He said the faith of a mustard seed. Right? You can move a mountain. So if I just got a little bit of belief just in the Most High and that he can make me into something great, he'll do it. You got to put in that belief.
That's right.
You got to roll off of that little bit of faith. I will read on. 12. And all nations shall call you blessed, for you shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts. Right? This wisdom shall be this knowledge shall be the wisdom in the sight of the nations. Right? Your words have been stout. Woo! He said, your words have been stout against me. Stiff, hard.
Yep.
Right? Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Well, God is white. That ain't my Jesus. Right? I'm down for Kemet. I'm down for Jehovah wickedness, 7-day disadvantage. I'm a Christian, a Christian can, right? Christian mingles, all that. The words that we speak are stout. Oh, I'm celebrating Christmas, Halloween, right? I'm doing all these things, and you're stout in your words. No fear. And then we got the nerve to say, well, when did we say that? Well, sometimes it's not just what you say, it's what you do.
God.
Verse 14, ye have said, it is vain to serve God. Like, what's the point? What's the point of the Bible? What's the point of me believing? It don't mean nothing. Like, what's the point of going to that brother? It don't mean nothing anyway.
Yep.
What's the point of talking to her? She ain't gonna hear me anyway.
Point of congregating.
What's the point of getting together?
God.
Right? You got sisters that are at the house, they're doing garments. And sometimes some of them be having the look on their face like, what's the point of me being here? because they might not have something to do, or because they may not be experiencing part of the sowing. So they sitting back. Well, the point of you being there, sis, is to observe. It's to support. It's to learn. Everything can't always be hands-on, especially if you don't know how to do something and somebody else does. They may have to sit back and, right now it's not teaching time for garments. Right now it's go time.
That's right.
The teaching time was the whole year from May all the way to December. That was teaching time. Now it's go time. So sisters ain't got time to sit back and let me show you how to stitch a stitch and sew a sew and use the machine and glue. Nah, they ain't got time for that.
Yeah, no baby stepping right now.
No. So you may not know how to do something, but the looks be like, well, I could be at the house doing this. No, you can't. Because where's the unity at the house? Where's the sisters at the house? It's more than just, I could be somewhere else doing something else. You see that? You look at things like, oh, this is vain. What's the point? The point is, sisters, brother, being around, being a support, being a help, endeavoring to keep the unity. That's the point. But see, like, damn, every Saturday, we got to do class. Let me come into class. Like, what's the point? What's the point of me learning how to do cameras? What's the point of this? What's the point of that?
Yeah, you're working for a white man 6 days a week.
12
hours a day.
What's the point of that?
Oh, snap.
Well, the point is, it's for my own gain. That's why there's a point to it. But if I can't see that I can gain from doing cameras or learning cameras or doing garments, some carnal thing, then what's the point? So we got to check our spirits, man. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinances? And what have we walked, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? Well, the point is, he said, like he said in Romans, just like he said in Romans, right? Romans 3:1. What advantage then hath the Jew? And what profit is there of circumcision? Much in every way, chiefly, because unto them were committed the ordinances of the Most High. You get to keep the order of God and the angels. Come on, man.
That's deep.
You get to keep the order of God here on earth. You get to keep the order of heaven on earth. That's what was committed. It said, were committed. These things were committed. Remember we read in Timothy's? What did we just read in Timothy's? In 2 Timothy's 2, what did we just read? He said, therefore, he said, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou. So these things are committed to us. But see, in our lack of faith, back in the wilderness, in our lack of faith now, we end up back in this situation of, well, what's the point? I don't see no benefit in it. Chiefly in every way. It says it benefits you in every way.
It's like giving the golden cup.
Yeah, it's like when they give you the key to the city. Bruh, you got the key to the city right here. That key is symbolic to be able to open every door. That's the key to the city. But you're like, well, this big ass key can't do nothing. Yeah, it can. It can open every door.
That's right.
But you're so narrow-minded, you're like, well, how's it going to fit? Because what it is how do I apply the key in this lock? How do I apply this wisdom in this world? That's all it is. But you're narrow-minded. You're faithless. So you're like, well, how do I apply? I don't see it working. I don't see that happening. So now it's vanity. It's vain. It's pointless to us. We have to wake up. We got to wake up. Where we at?
Verse 16.
Where am I going?
15.
You can read
to verse 18. Oh, do the rest of the chapter. And now,
on the site it said up to verse 24, but then
there is no 24.
It's chapter 4 as well.
4 and what?
All the way.
18. Okay, I'll read all the way. Right. Verse 15. And now we call the proud happy. Woo! Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. Yeah, look at this world, man. You look at these proud, prideful ass people and they fake it. And they front. like they're happy, and you look at them like, oh man, I want to be like them. They're happy.
Oh,
They're happy because they get to travel. They're happy because they get to run through the mall and blow their stimulus check. They're happy because of this. They're happy because of that. But that pride is eating them alive. Because their pride got them on drugs. Their pride got them hating God. Their pride got them separated. And you sitting there like, oh, they're happy. Look, Kim Kardashian, she's happy. Kanye is happy. They ain't happy. They're going through more torment than anybody. Those people. Verse 16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another. And the Lord hearkened and heard it. And the book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord. And that thought upon his name. And that's where our mind got to be at, man. Where's the fear? Where's the thought? Where's the meditation on the Most High? And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels. Woo! Or my treasure. When the Most High comes, when Yahweh Shai comes and says, I want that in my treasure box. Imagine the treasure box being the kingdom that's going to be delivered. That golden city. And he says, oh, I want that jewel. Boom. That's him. Oh, I want that gold. Us. We're the jewels. That's true. Remember Hitler said it? America stole God's jewels. Yep.
Got it in the book.
Right? Got it right from the Bible, man. So we're those jewels. We're that treasure. It said a man will be more precious than fine gold in that day.
Yep.
But only if you go through the process of, for he is like a refiner's fire and a fuller's soap, and he shall sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver. What's the point of damn tarnished silver? Dross silver. It's pointless. You got to clean it up for it to be deemed silver. Right? What's the point of gold that looks like brass? Well, let's clean it up. Let's get that tarnish be gone. Let's re-refine it. Let's melt it down and recast it. That's us, man. That's us, but it's a process. And it hurts. It hurts to be melted and reshaped. It hurts to be told that you are a vessel of dishonor and now we got to turn you into a vessel of honor. That's what it really is. And that's why the pride, watch, it says, that we call the proud happy. The proud is not willing to be refined. And they're making it, remember, read Job 16, read Psalm 73. I almost slipped I almost slipped when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. There's no death in their bands, right? Their cows gendereth. They give birth. They don't cast their young. He was going through all that, right? And then Job came right back and said the same things. And you would look at them like, oh, they're so happy, right? They got the perfect family. But dad is molesting the little girl or the little boy. Or dad is a serial killer. You know them families that got dough, they got all them damn closet secrets, them skeletons in their closets. But we look at them like they're happy, but they're prideful. They don't want to be refined. They don't want to change. Right?
Love their wickedness.
They love it. He said, I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall you return and discern between righteous and wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. Chapter 4. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's hot. Everything Diddy, I know that is hot. Right? And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. Woo! Barakatah Yahweh. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And he shall tread down the wicked, the water. For they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. What is this one?
The water system.
It's almond milk. Almond milk. saith the Lord of hosts, almond milk, honey. Yeah. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant. See, it all goes back to the law. Remember the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb. This is cold. Here goes Christ in the Old Testament. Who else commanded Moses? It wasn't Malachi.
God.
So who the hell was Malachi talking about? Here goes another scripture.
It's true.
Gotta read. Here goes another one. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgment. Right?
Praises.
Behold, I will send Elijah, the great prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers.
Dang.
Lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
Dang.
Right? And we know that John the Baptist.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. What do you say? He made that path for Yahushua. Oh yeah.
What's so beautiful about this, what you reading this down and breaking it down for us, priest, is, you know, too. And
they didn't want you to pay that money.
And even with that mindset, it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna even dive into those books, just out of slothfulness and laziness, because I know what this is speaking about. But clearly, as you broke everything down, I had no type of understanding what this meant.
But now you do.
Now I do.
That's a cold one though. That verse 4, Malachi 4:4.
Good.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Jump over to Matthews. Any questions on the Old Testament that we just read? Go to Matthews 9 and 10. Matthews 9 and verse 10. This is pretty straightforward. Let's see here. Matthew chapter 9 and verse 10. And it came to pass that as Yahushua sat at meat in the house, behold, many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciples. Publicans and sinners, right? We know what they are, the lawbreakers, the ones that didn't keep the law. Thieves, robbers, murderers, right?
Tax collectors.
Tax collectors that were unjustly collecting tax. But when Yahushua heard that, let's see here, it's a lot. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciples, why eateth your master with the publicans and sinners? But when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. So think about it. Even in this time, these publicans and sinners knew, let me go get the healing. Let me go sit with the one that's going to heal me. What's our problem? Well, we want to sit with the ones that's still sick. I want to cling up to her because she makes me feel good, because she caters to me. I want to cling to him because he ain't going to check my spirit. He ain't going to tell me where I'm wrong. He's not going to refine me. It says iron sharpeneth iron. So really when you want to be around the person that caters, that's paper rubbing against paper, man. That's sickness rubbing with sickness. That's an AIDS patient trying to catch gonorrhea. That's what that is. It's like, yeah, I know I got AIDS, but let me go see what this gonorrhea feels like. Oh, yeah, I know I got the clap, but let me go see what this syphilis is hitting for. That's what you're saying spiritually. Like, yeah, I know I got trust issues, so let me add hatred to that. I know I got pride problems. Let me add just lack of long suffering, lack of patience.
Envy to it.
Let me add envy. Let me add jealousy. I know I got hatred in my heart. Let me add pride to that. It's the same thing. No one in their right mind thinks like that. You're supposed to go to the ones that's going to heal.
Yes, sir.
I'll read on. But go ye and learn what he had to tell you. He said, go and learn what that means, because y'all sick. But what was the problem with the Pharisees? They were sick as hell, but they sat amongst themselves perpetuating sickness. It's like the common cold that just went around for years. Because as soon as I start getting better, you breathe on me, the cold comes back. As soon as you start getting better, I breathe on you, the cold is back. So they never got rid of their sickness. He said, look, go and find out what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all slow. Y'all sick. Right?
Yes, sir.
I will have mercy and not sacrifice. For I am not come to call the righteous, but the sinners to repentance.
Dang.
It wasn't about sacrifice. It was about that mercy. He didn't want you to keep sinning. He didn't want you to keep sinning. He wanted us to learn. He wanted the Pharisees to understand it wasn't about going dropping a damn bull or a turtle dove. It was about stop doing it. Learn. He said grace teaches us to live godly. Because when I didn't die for my sin and I felt bad, I could sit back and reflect on what I did wrong and what made me feel bad. What gave me that godly sorrow and not do it. Y'all see that?
Yes,
That's in 2 Corinthians 7. The godly sorrow was supposed to bubble in me. And I was supposed to feel a certain way in my conscience and not commit the sin that made me feel bad. Godly sorrow not to be repented of.
Dang.
Y'all see that? This is what he was checking them on. These niggas, man, they were so carnal. Like, yeah, we messed up. Turtle dove. Yeah, we messed up. Bullock. Yeah, we messed up. Ox, sheep, this, that. But that wasn't the point. It wasn't about sacrifice. Y'all see that?
God.
Verse 14. Then came to him the disciples of John, saying, why do we, the Pharisees, fast off? Because y'all niggas is carnal. That's why you fast oft. Y'all, they were so carnal, they thought that their fasting was going to get them closer to the Most High. We fast oft. We're righteous. We got long garments. We got long beards. And our Hebrew, listen, man, our Hebrew, our vernacular is on point. What's wrong with your guys? Son of God? Right? Them niggas ain't fasting. What's up with them?
Damn.
But thy disciples fast not. Right? And Yahweh Shai said unto them, can the children of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? You only mourn when something is taken away.
God.
Right?
God.
But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and they shall fast. They gonna catch their little sufferings. Now ain't the time. The time was to soak it all in. For the time when it got hard and you had to go on that fast, it's like we've been out of our business for a long time, right? It's been about a year and a half with this mall been closed in Houston. So what we telling brothers? Get fat, fatten up that mind, store up all, read, study, get your mind girded.
God.
Because there's going to be a famine where you can't sit down.
It's true.
You're going to have to go on a fast where you can't sit down and just read and study for hours and be at the house. Get your ribs mind built up. Because when you got to get back to work, you ain't going to be there to walk her through every little instance with the baby or walk her through every little instance in the house. She going to have to use her damn mind.
God.
So build her now, because when that fast comes, what's she going to do?
Yes,
The
sir.
bridegroom, you're going to be pulled out the house, brother. What's your rib going to do? She going to operate like you? Or is your house going to go to crap because you didn't build her? You see that? So he was showing them, there's going to be a time they're going to have to fast. It's going to get dry. But do they got the time when the bridegroom was there? That's when they were supposed to be dealing with the bridegroom, soaking up all that info, soaking up all that knowledge. See, he was hitting them spiritually. The Pharisees came carnal, and Yahweh Shai always came at them spiritual to show them that they were stupid as hell. They were separatists that were not smart. They were lawyers in the law, but they weren't smart spiritually. Right. Verse 16. No man putteth a new piece. No man putteth a piece of new cloth on an old garment. For that which is put in to fill it up taketh from the garment. You got a garment that you've been wearing for 2 years, and it rips a hole in it. You gonna patch it with a new cloth that's brand new? That old garment is all faded. That new patch is brand new. That's what's gonna stand out. That's what he's saying. You don't patch that. You get rid of that.
God.
You get rid of that. Why? Because the patch is going to stand out and take away from the garment. You see that? And the rent is made worse. The rent is the tear. Neither do men put wine into old bottles. Where am I reading to? 17. But that was it, right? Right. Right. Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm gonna jump over to Tobit.
Sir.
Tobit. Yeah, Tobit is one of my favorite books, man. Tobit chapter 4, right? Yeah, a lot of. Yeah, we short on brothers today. Brothers is out getting that work in, man. Yeah, you have to get on something. You gotta keep the school going. The sanctuary rested on us, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Tobit 4:1. In that day, Tobit remembered the money which he had committed to Gabriel in Rages of Medea, and said with himself, I have wished for death. Wherefore do I not call for my son Tobias, that I may signify to him of the money before I die. So remember, Tobit got blinded. He prayed to the Most High, take me out. Basically, do unto me whatever is your will, but just get me out of here. Sarah, she prayed to the Most High because she strangled her husbands because she had this demonic possession on her.
Right.
Prayed the same thing. Listen, I don't want to kill no more. You know there's no iniquity in me. Get me out of here.
That's
or heal me.
Con.
Right. So, Tobit had lent out some money, from what it's saying. He had lent out some money, so now he's telling his son, hey, before I die, go get this money, basically. All right? So that's where we're at now. And when he had called him, he said, my son, when I am dead, bury me, and despise not thy mother, but honor her in all the days of thy life, and do that which shall please her, and grieve her not. Remember, my son, that she saw many dangers for thee, when thou wast in her womb. And when she is dead, bury her by me in one grave. Yeah, this is dope. My son, be mindful of the Lord, our power, all thy days. And let not thy will be set to sin, or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness. This reminds me.
Beautiful.
Go to 1 Kings real quick.
Yes, sir.
This reminds me of what David told Solomon. Right? What did he say? He said, show thyself a man.
Yep.
Right? Is it 1 Kings?
1 Kings 2.
1 Kings 2:1, right?
Yep.
Read that.
Now the days of David drew nigh,
Right.
that he should die.
Right?
And he charged Solomon his son, saying,
Uh-huh.
I go the way of all the earth.
Right?
Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
You said what?
Be there strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
Yeah. You want to know what an Israelite man is? Not because he could damn pimp a bunch of women. That's not an Israelite man. That's not a man in general. The scriptures say a man shall be commended or known according to his wisdom. So you have different levels of men. You got more wise men and you got less wise men. Y'all see that? What manner of man you are is pronounced on or known by the amount of wisdom you apply in situations. Go ahead, read on.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
Right.
To walk in his ways.
Right. See, watch. And be mindful of the Lord our power in all his days. Let not thy will be set to sin. Go ahead.
To keep his statutes.
To transgress his commandments. Go ahead.
And his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as is written in the law of Moses.
Do uprightly all the day of thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness. Y'all see that?
Sir.
Go ahead.
That thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest.
If thou deal truly, thou doing shall prosperously succeed to thee. Go ahead.
And whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
And all them that live justly. You see that?
Dang, that went together.
Bro. That's cold, right? Yeah, that just hit me. But yeah, because this is what we did with our sons, man. This this is what we have more than just a damn death certificate. We have more than just debt to give to our children. We have more than just bills to give to our children when we pass. We pass them wisdom, instruction, and example. David did it. Tobit did it. Right? The forefathers did it, the righteous ones. They sat their sons down. They taught them. They showed them the right way. That's where you get honor your mother, honor your father, because if they were honorable people, you were supposed to follow that honor. Keep the commandments of the Most High. Be mindful of the Lord. Don't forget your family that's around. Keep the law, and you'll prosper.
Not
a bunch of damn raggedy basketball cards and sports memorabilia. Like here's my 1980s Bill Russell jersey signed. What the hell can that do for your son? With no wisdom, so he just clucked it off and then got high off them. You didn't give him wisdom on like don't do drugs, don't do this, don't do that. So he got a little bit better. Think about it. You got a lot of people. You'll have like family houses. You'll have family houses that have been in a generation forever. And then it gets handed down to the one dumb nigga in the family that was never taught nothing. And what does he do? He gets the house and what does he do to it?
Tear it up.
Now he sells it. It's been in the house for generations. He sells it because he wasn't taught the value of things. He wasn't taught to preserve something for his children. So now, boom, there's a cutoff. So when his children come, he got nothing to hand them. No wisdom, no dwelling, nothing. He didn't set up his children the way he was set up because he wasn't taught. Solomon talks about that, about putting in work and having to commit it to an idiot. You build something and you got to commit it to a damn son that's retarded, or any man that just don't know how to do nothing. He said it's vanity. Why? Because you can build something and build and build and build and build and build. But if you don't commit it to the right mind, then guess what? It's for naught. What's that?
See, I know some people that just went through the same thing with some family property. Two of the family members schemed and so went behind everybody's back. Sold the property. and they was gonna give everybody like $6,000, and the other one was like, if that's all you wanted, we could have bought you out.
We could have bought you out. Yeah,
you did it already.
You clocked us out for $6,000, but that's niggas. Yep. That's my point. Nobody showed them like $6,000. That's, you can barely pay a car note for 6 months with that.
That's it. So true.
If that, maybe 8. That's 8 months of car note. That's rent for like 3 months. Come on, man. But our people, ain't nobody teaching us nothing, so we sell out for crumbs. $6,000 is crumbs.
It is. And that property worth at least $500,000.
That's what I'm saying. Dang. You gotta have, but ain't that what happened with Gad? They traded damn Manhattan for a bottle of wine. Yeah. And now look at Manhattan. That island is worth billions. Billions. And you gave up a bottle of Manischewitz. Here goes some Magun David, right, and some damn hookah. And we'll take this whole island off your hands. Well.
Fire water.
You know what? You might have a point there. This land looks useless. I can't grow anything on it. I can't have crops on it, even though you can. Dang. And this right here is an immediate satisfaction. This cancels the thought of me having to work. So I'll take the fire water. You take the land. Yep. You big dummy, as Zion would say. You big dummy. Why? Because Gad thinking, oh, we're going to go to another land and keep our statutes and commandments and our customs. But they forgot. They left off and there was no longer somebody teaching them. Yep. And instilling in them, be mindful of the Lord. Keep the commandments. Keep the statutes, and that will be your prosperity. God. No, I got to make my own prosperity. I got to make my own way. And you cause more damage. Yep. You'll cluck your life away. You'll give your life up for a wage. You'll give your life up for a wage. Yahushua asked it. He said, basically, what price can you put on your soul? What can a man give in exchange for his soul? So true. There shouldn't be a price. But we've sold, he said it, we've sold ourselves for naught. Yep. We've sold ourselves for naught, man. He said, come back, be redeemed without money. But why? It's about being mindful of the Most High in Christ. Excellent point, sir. People pass down carnal things instead of wisdom. Yeah. You're supposed to be able to pass down carnal with the wisdom. How about having, it'd be good to have both, right? And I got a little plot of land. It's like my family. My family got a gang of land in Jamaica. And it's in my dad's name. And they're telling him, like, just sign it over to me. But me, I'm like, I wouldn't know what to do with it because I'm not going to go to Jamaica. Nah. Yeah, see, y'all like what?
So that's
you
why
don't go to
that's why you got soldiers and stuff.
you don't go to Jamaica as an American trying to build nothing. They'll kill you. I ain't trying to die for no land. There's probably people living on that land. They claim that land. They do like squatters' rights for real. Like if you want to get us out, ain't no piece of paper gonna get us off that land that we've been living on. You're gonna have to come with guns and machetes to get us off that land. I ain't got time for that.
That's true.
But my dad don't want to deal with the land. That land stopped being dealt with back in the 90s. My grandpa, he used to work for the government. He built a lot of housing and a lot of the buildings down in Kingston. And they would pay him in land.
Damn.
They would pay him in land. So he got a lot of land. My grandpa, his brother. So what happened when his brother died, he signed all the land over that he had to my dad. And then my grandpa just passed away a couple of months ago. He signed over his half to my dad. So my dad got acreage. And my dad's like, nah, I don't want to deal with it. Well, nobody sat him down and was like, look, this is what you should do with it. So now it's like, okay, you ain't going to mess with it. It's either going to go back to the government, or if he does something, he could sign it over to one of the kids. Me, my sisters, whatever. But nobody wants to deal. No, there's no wisdom there to, what do we do with this land? What's the proper thing to do? Well, if nobody's going to deal with it, get some money from it.
Right.
Let's all agree, sign it over. Boom. I got one uncle that's like, no, I'm going to go down there and do da-da-da-da-da. It's like, nigga, no, you're not. You're going to die before you get anything popped off with that land. They'll kill you first before that land even buds a damn ear of corn. You'll die behind that land. And the rest of the family knows it. Like, you can't just go down there and just start building. You got people that will come, they'll extort you, they want money, they talking about protection, this, that. Jamaica is corrupt. You go watch Shatas. Shatas is like real life Jamaican life. For people that got businesses. They extorting money out of you. I'm sure they do it in Mexico, South America. It's the same damn thing. Like, you couldn't just go to Mexico and say, look, I got this land, I'm going to build it. The cartel ain't going to come and say, listen, nigga, you're going to put some poppy seeds on this land. Or you're going to grow some marijuana on this land, or else.
Right now,
they're going to extort something from you.
Right now, even with landowners in Mexico, off the frontera, off the border towns, South Texas, all the way down to California, people are literally leaving their lands because the cartel would just move in and say, this is ours.
This is ours.
This is ours. Like, what you want to do about it?
Nothing, because the government ain't going to stand up. But it's the same thing. That's our people, man. The mentality is trash.
Yep.
But the point I'm trying to make is we like my family got the carnal crap, but nobody got the wisdom to use it and put it to good use. So now it's just going to be a damn waste. This land been in the family for, my grandpa died, he was 103 years old. He probably got that land maybe in his 30s and 40s. So we've had this land for 70 years. And now it's just going to go to waste. Now it's just going to go to waste. Where you never know what the Most High might have in store with that land.
It's true.
He might open up anything. We might have there's already a school in Jamaica. That land, hey, Israelite compound. And we girt that thing up and we build on it. Who knows? But ain't no wisdom there. Nobody wants to figure out what are we going to do. So just a little example. Just a little example of being mindful of the Most High. Yes, the carnal with the spiritual. But if it's all carnal, it ain't going to work with no spirit. I'll jump back. And thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious. Yeah, don't give and then be like, well, damn, I gave it, but I need it back because you made it look good. You made my alms look good, but I want it back now. That Indian giving, you give a person a pair of shoes, because you like, man, them things is old and raggedy. They take them, they clean them up, they restore them, and you like, wait a minute, was those the shoes I gave you? You like, yeah. You're like, no, I want them back now. You can't do that. He said, give alms, don't be envious. Neither turn thy face from any poor. and the face of the Most High shall be turned away from thee. Shall not be turned away from thee. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. We always go here, man, for alms. We always go here. If you got a little bit, give a little bit. If you got a lot, give accordingly to that lot. If you got a little bit of faith, use that little bit of faith. If you got a lot of faith, use that lot of faith. But whatever you got, the Most High said, go to Corinthians real quick. I believe it's 1 Corinthians 9. Nope, 2 Corinthians 9 and 8. Woo.
The book of 2 Corinthians.
Brain is working today. Go ahead, 9 and 8.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 8. And the Most High is able to make all grace abound toward you.
Yeah, no matter what little bit you have. Right? Hold that. Chapter 8, verse 12.
2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 12.
Right?
For if there be first a willing mind,
Right?
it is accepted according to that a man hath.
Right. He accepts you according to the little bit or much you have. But you got to be willing. I got a little bit of faith, but you know what? I'm willing to try. Okay, well, I accept you. I got a lot of faith, but I'm willing to try. Guess what? I'll accept you. I got a lot of faith, but I ain't willing to do nothing. Well, guess what? Rejected, not welcome. It's about the willing mind, but it's not about the amount you have. It's about the willingness to give. Jump back to 9 and verse 8. Corinthians.
Chapter 9 verse 8. Ye always having all sufficiency
Right?
in all things.
He'll make the little bit that you have become sufficient enough for all things, only if what? Read.
May abound to every good work.
Depends on what your intentions are, man.
Con.
It depends on what your intentions are. If it's about gain, if it's about greed, then guess what? You ain't gonna be sufficient. You'll be deficient in a lot of things and sufficient in one thing. But if it's about doing good works in the eyes of the Most High and doing His will and His way, He'll make that little bit of faith turn into a bunch of long suffering, a bunch of mercy, a bunch of joy, a bunch of peace, a bunch of brotherhood, a bunch of sisterhood.
Ooh.
You know, you got those people that they might not be the brightest, they may not be the sharpest tool, but you love their spirit because of their giving nature. You're like, man, you might have had that one rib that she wasn't the most beautiful, but you're like, damn, man, the way she does things, her giving nature, her humility, that's what intensifies or amps up that carnal beauty. It's the same thing with us. Most High is like, y'all niggas is dirty. Y'all filthy, but then He's willing. So you know what? I'm gonna work with Him. I'm gonna work with He might not have all the knowledge. He might not have all the breakdowns. He might not be the most studious. But guess what? I'm gonna work with Him. Then you got the ones that they super study. They can give you the book from front to back. They got the pages memorized in their head. They got all the deep wisdom, but He's not willing. So guess what? I'm not gonna work with Him.
Wow.
I'm not gonna work with Him because His mind ain't there. This is how it is. This is how it is. Right? So He'll make us abound to all good works. You got to be willing to give, though. Be not afraid to give according to that little. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity. Because that alms do deliver from death, and suffer not to come into darkness. See, this is Tobit schooling Tobias. If you understand what's going on here, from verse 5 all the way down, he's basically giving this dude a life lesson and reminding him, alms, remember the Most High, remember your people, love your mother, honor her, bury me. He's giving him commands for life. Watch. Verse 12. He's taking him into dealing with women. What type of women to deal with? You see that? This is a son and father. This is beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe or nation. Right? For we are all the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you're supposed to take a woman of those 4 men. But within your tribe now, because remember, Abraham, right? That's why he said tribe, because now he's going more into the specific line. Not that you have to marry Judah with Judah, Benjamin with Benjamin. No, in the law, it didn't say you had to do that. But it said that in the law, you should do that if you didn't want the inheritance to move around. Right now, we ain't got no inheritance, so it don't even apply. Right. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even they all married wives of their own kindred. Whether it be at that time, it was close kindred. But we Rebecca and Isaac, they were cousins, right? Jacob, Rachel, Leah, they were cousins, right? Abraham, Sarah, that was his niece, right? So they kept it close kindred because they didn't want to go outside of their bloodline, like into these other tribes like Midian and all the other ones that were around. They kept it in the line. And were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. 13. Now therefore, my son, love the brethren, and despise not in thy heart thy brethren. Leviticus 19 and 17, right? Grudging. In not taking a wife of them. Damn, he was showing that if you didn't want to take a wife of your people, you despise your people. I'll read it again. Now therefore, my son, love the brethren. Despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, in not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine. Esau despised his people by taking a woman of another nation. That's why Jacob, right, was like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? He was despised in their eyes.
Damn.
Because he didn't follow this. What's that?
So, and that's a big thing right now for definitely for Issachar. Going into that, a lot of our elders are moreno, dark skin, super dark skin, beautiful, sun-kissed, right? But the mindset of these morenos, the women especially, they would teach their sons and daughters like, look, if it ain't white, it ain't right. So don't get with a negro, don't get with a moreno, get with somebody lighter. Just all in the mindset of like, nah.
My uncle taught. I remember my uncle. He would sit around and tell my cousin, get with a white boy with good credit. He would tell her that. She didn't, but that's what he would teach her. Go get with a white boy that got credit. Because why? The outlook on our people was negative. Yeah.
And now even with that, they don't even deem themselves Mexicans. They'll deem themselves Hispanic Americans. Like,
I'm a Hispanic.
I'm not
right,
Mexican.
like George Lopez.
I was born in America.
Yeah, I'm Chicano. Right? I'm not Moreno. I'm Chicano. I'm Hispanic.
Government label.
I'm a Spaniard.
A byword.
Right, nigga, you a damn Mexican. Yeah. Okay? Right. 14. See, this is listen. This whole thing from verse 5 down is Tobit schooling his son, man. It's dope. Verse 14. Let not the wages of any man which have wrought for thee tarry with thee. So, what's he saying? Somebody work for you, you pay them. Don't sit on their money. That's their livelihood. Right? But give him it out of hand. For if thou serve God, he will also repay thee. Wow. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest. And be wise in all thy conversation. See that? Do that to no man which thou hatest. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Drink not wine to make thee drunken. All y'all, it don't say not to, it says it right here. Don't drink to be drunk. Wine, it said, wine drunken in season was to make one merry.
It does.
Drunken in season and moderation was to bring gladness. Neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journeys. Give of the bread to the hungry, and of thy garments to them that are naked, and according to thine abundance give alms. And let not thine eye be envious when thou givest alms. Pour out thy bread on the burial of the just, but give nothing to the wicked. You see that? He said, give nothing to the wicked. Now when we go to Ecclesiasticus, he said, when thou doest good, know who you do good to.
Con.
Help not the sinner, but do good to the godly. Tobit is saying the same thing. He said, man, do good to the just, but don't help the wicked. So if you got that weed smoking uncle that's always trying to borrow money because he's broke, well, maybe he should get off the damn weed. Nothing good shall come to him that is always occupied in evil. Y'all see that?
Con.
Come. Oh, here, here we go. Oh, this one's going to touch some people. Verse 18. Ask counsel of all that are wise, and despise not any counsel that is profitable. Well, how do you know wise counsel? How would one know? Like if you came to me for the first time and you were like, I'm dealing with a problem, and I was like, okay, well, here's a solution. How would you know it was wise or not?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Con, I would say, I would
Or anybody.
I would look at you as a man that's actually been, number one, who's rooted where your roots are. If I pay attention to that, if you're a man in the world, I wouldn't be. I take it pretty light. So if you're giving me scriptures out of the Bible to apply, I know that where your roots are, you're not coming out of your own head. You're actually coming out of it from the scriptures.
Hey, I'm having a problem with my rib. Well, you know what? Go to Revelations 1:13.
That ain't gonna do.
So, you would have the person that's coming for counsel would have to have some sensibility of what applies and doesn't. So the man of counsel will be considerate. But then also, now that you figure out, oh, that's sensible, it may not be to my liking. It may not be what I would do, or it may not be the method I want to do, but let me do that. You would have to now do it to see if it was wise or not. So you would have to actually execute the counsel. You see that? That's how you know. Ask counsel of all they that are wise. So you're going to go to all the ones that, okay, this brother seems wise, he studies, this brother seems wise. And it says, despise not the one that's profitable. See, a lot of brothers will come, they'll call me for something, I'll give them the answer. They'll call Kazak, he'll give them the answer. Then they'll call Zion, he'll give them the same damn answer. And they despise the counsel. They won't even do what all three of us told them to do. Wow. And it's like, what the hell you call for? What you call for, sis, if I tell you one thing, then it's confirmed, man speak once, yea twice. By the let all things be established, twos and threes, right? I tell you, because I come back and tell you, Zion comes back, stamps it, BAM! And it's like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to pray on it. We already gave you what to do. You see that? So he's telling Tobit, don't be naive here. Use the things around you to not fail.
Con.
Right? Verse 19, bless the Lord thy power always, and desire of him that thy ways may be. Whew, damn. Desire of him. Acts of him. Don't have of him that thy ways may be directed, and that all thy paths and counsels may prosper. For every nation hath not counsel. Wow! But the Lord himself giveth all good things, and humbleth whom he will, as he will. He said, every nation have not counsel. So what are they moving off of?
They're all good.
Their own wills, man. This is, right? With Bakar, you know it's wise counsel because it's proven and the counsel isn't against the word. Come. Now therefore, my son, remember my commandment, neither let them be put out of thy mind. And now I signify this to thee, that I committed 10 talents to Gibeel, the son of Gabrias, at Rages in Medea. And fear not, my son, that we are made poor, for thou hast much wealth, if thou fear God. Wow. You see that? We say it, money is a defense. But it says, well, the knowledge of wisdom bringeth life. Come y'all shot. Any questions on that? Stamp of approval. I give that my stamp of approval. I approve this message. Any questions on the reading?
That's nice.
The other nations are leaning on their own understanding. That's why drinking cow piss and blood and circumcising women and bro, their counsel is not. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. It's not prudence.
Con.
What's that?
What's
What's your
Might have-
on the reading or off?
it's kind of on the reading.
Okay, what's up?
Might have a dilemma coming up. I gotta go to a funeral on Tuesday.
Right.
I don't know where I stand with that as
As far as what?
Passover celebration.
Come to Passover. Come to Passover, all right? Con, you got to be there. So, yeah. Come to Passover. What else? Yeah. What else? What else we got? Any? You got it?
Okay.
Con. Okay. You got to be out? Con. All right. Shalom.
Shalom, brother.
That's it for the reading. What questions we got? What you got?
I'll give you.
Jeremiah?
It is going to be Jeremiah.
Right? Read. Let's go look at your other question.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
I haven't had a chance to sit down, really.
This is going to be Jeremiah. That's when I said 51. It's going to be Jeremiah 51 and.
Look at that. Look where I'm at.
Oh, come.
Look where I just turned to. Go ahead. What's wrong with you? Jeremiah 51 and what?
Con, it's going to be 51 and actually 51 and 17 and 41. This is a couple of them in there.
Okay, read it. What's the question?
51. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 17. But every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them.
Right.
Okay, the question in that one is when you read in that, we keep reading on down, let's read up. It's talking about the Most High. It's talking about right here, every man, it's the Most High talking about man. Okay? Mm-hmm. So every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is...
This whole chapter is going in about Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
So verse 12, he says, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon and make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen and prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. And he's going in about Babylon. He's saying that they're brutish. Why? Because, remember we just read, it says the nations have not counsel?
They have no counsel.
Right. They're brutish by their knowledge. They're not using the knowledge of God.
Okay.
Right? Every founder is confounded by the graven image. Because ain't that what happens? They grave these images.
Right.
And they worship these images. Right? For his molten image is falsehood. He said the gods of the people are not gods.
Okay, because when he was saying it, I just thought that he was talking about like his image, people that create of him, is falsehood.
Yeah, it is. He's talking about all graven images.
All of them?
Right.
Okay.
He's talking about anything. When you go into Wisdom of Solomon 14, let's go there real quick. Oh, this is a little ammo at you. Wisdom of Solomon.
Verse 8. Hands.
Wisdom of Solomon. Where we at? So, no.
Okay.
I mean,
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1.
right?
Surely vain are all men by nature.
Why? Because we create vain things. We go off of our vanity or off of our vain wisdom and think that is wisdom. Go ahead.
Okay. Who are ignorant of God.
They are what?
Are ignorant of God.
Right. So every man is brutish in knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the work of errors. Go ahead.
And could not, out of the good things that are seen, know him.
Right.
That is.
Go ahead.
Not
the truth of God into a lie.
Con.
Go ahead.
But deem either fire or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of the stars.
Read.
or the violent water, or the lights of heaven, to be gods, which govern the world.
Right, but like when you go into Egyptology, you said they had over 1,500 gods. 1,500 gods and goddesses. And I've been reading this, I haven't had a chance to dive in lately, but I've been reading this book, this Egyptology and all the different gods. They had the god of sun, air, earth, life, water, sun, moon, star. Like they had all these gods, but how can their gods save them in the time of visitation?
Nah,
The 10 plagues, where were your gods?
Con.
This is the yeah, that's why you got to read 51 and 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. Babylon hath been the golden cup in the Lord's hand. Where's it at?
Verse 7.
Here's one. We have, right, this goes right with Revelations 18, where it says that Babylon is like the cage of every hateful bird.
Con. I
It
got
goes right with it. But what is it saying? Well, Babylon, confusion. What do they have here in Babylon? All the different Christianity,
all different religions.
Egyptology,
Con.
tarot card, astrology worship, all the different millions of Christian denominations. It's the same thing. And he's saying, these were all created by the works of man's hands. You see that? It's all vain. That's all that's saying.
Okay.
Right, that's verse 17. So he said every man is brutish.
Con.
Remember what Solomon said in Psalms 72? Watch this. See, this is how you link precepts. Psalm 72 and Psalm 73 and verse 22. So foolish was I and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee.
Con.
Brute beast. When you go back to Jeremiah, he said Jeremiah 51:17, every man is brutish by his knowledge.
Oh, con.
Right. So foolish and ignorant, I was a beast before
Psalm
thee.
73 and 22.
Right. You see that?
Con.
Right. What makes us a beast? It says a man without knowledge is a beast. You see that?
All right.
Right. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Why? Because that knowledge ain't knowledge.
That's true.
You
Okay.
see that? The wisdom of wickedness is not prudence.
Con.
Right.
Okay.
So now you understand it?
I understand that one, brother. Water.
Right. What's the next one?
Also, it's going to go down to 51 and 41. It says, how is Shishak taken? And how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How has Babylon become an astonishment among the nations?
Okay.
I was trying to look at who Shishak was. I couldn't find it in the scripture. It was just a name they just put in there. You know, I looked up the definition. I looked up on my phone. I just couldn't find it.
What, Jeremiah?
Come.
I'm pretty sure it's probably like a capital. We'll look. Jeremiah 51.
And 41.
51 and 41. Yeah, another name for Babylon, apparently taken from the goddess Shak. Shaka. A foreign derivation. Shishak, a symbolical name for of Babylonian.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a symbolic name. Thy fine linen.
Okay.
Shishak. Yeah, so there's another name for Babylon. What verse is that? 41?
Yeah, con.
Shishak, as in cryptogram for Babel. Right, it's just another name. It's just another name for Babylon.
Con.
I think it's Babel. 51. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so you got that right.
Con.
Right, like if you hear Babel, the Tower of Babel, or Babylon,
Con.
Babel, Babylon, Shishak, just another name for the same thing.
Okay.
America, USA, the Great Melting Pot,
Mm-hmm.
the United
It's all the same.
States, it's all the same. It's
Okay.
a different name.
49 and 20.
Chapter 49 and verse 20.
Con.
Okay.
Going up a little bit. Say, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Edom,
Right.
and his purposes that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman.
Right.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
Right.
The least of the flock is basically, I would say, I would just think of today's terms is Israel.
Behold, let's see. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan. His habitation. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make the earth is moved. Come, behold, he shall come. For the rule of the Bozrah. Yeah, that's what it's talking about.
Okay.
The least of the flock.
So you're just saying
I mean,
their tribe,
when you really look
something
at
like
it,
that.
no, when you look at it, watch. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman.
Okay.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate. So who is the he?
It's a man.
Who's the he? Well, let's read on. Watch. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle, spread his wings over Bozrah. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of women in their pains.
So
who's going to do that?
So it's just Edom.
No, that goes right with Isaiah 63. Who is this that cometh from Bozrah with garments dyed red? Khan.
Okay.
Khan. Right? Right. The lion from the swallow of Jordan. So they make him one. And who is the chosen man? Right, and even going back into that, you got to ask a question about the 49 and 19, right?
Right.
I mean, that shepherd is Yahushua. When you read it, when you read all this, yeah, this is the Most High prophecy. This is the prophecy against Edom. Well, who's going to execute that prophecy? Who is he going to set over the Edomites to get them in order? It got to be Yahushua.
Right.
It goes right with Isaiah 63.
So when you read in Isaiah and Jeremiah, they're actually around the same time because they're both talking about kind of like the same thing.
Babylonian captivities.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
They ran, some parts of them ran congruently, meaning they overlapped. Remember, you had your minor prophet and you had your major prophet, but then some would overlap.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, but they were consecutive. You had Isaiah. Remember, Isaiah was in the time of kings.
Yeah.
You read the
Jehoiakim.
Joachim.
Yeah.
Jehoiakim. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. Remember, the Bible is not in chronological order,
Right.
so to speak.
Okay.
Right.
That is it.
Isaiah 34:6. Is that a strong? Strong says symbolically named for Babylon. Right. Isaiah 34:6. What you got there?
It says, the book of Isaiah chapter 34 verse 6.
Right.
The sword of the Lord
Woo!
is filled with blood.
Woo!
It is made fat with fatness.
You forgot verse 5, You forgot verse 5, Bakar. You got to put that in there. But yeah, verse 6, Khan. Yep. Go ahead, read on.
With the blood of lambs and goats.
Yeah.
The fat of the kidneys of rams.
Highlight that in red. Go ahead.
For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Bozrah.
Right.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Idumea, right. Bozrah, capital of Edom, one of the capital cities. Bozrah, Idumea. The Idumeans. Yeah. What else?
Nice.
That's the first time I seen in scripture where it says Idumea, because in history and Wikipedia and Google, you have a lot of references to of Idumea, but they won't necessarily say what it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isaiah 63, 1.
That's hard. It's wild scripture. Car.
Bakar. Yes,
My God,
sir.
who's this guy, son?
Swords are sharp. Is that it?
Con. Jeremiah 45 and 5. Let's go back it up. I got another questions on this. Okay.
Okay. Isaiah 45 and 5. Jeremiah 45 and 5.
And seekest thou great things for thyself, seek them not, for behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh. Saith the Lord, but thy life will I give unto thee for a prey in all places whither thou goest.
Okay.
This is the word of Jeremiah. It's talking to Baruch, basically.
Right. Baruch was his scribe.
Con. Okay. He says, I will bring evil upon all flesh. My question is, was he talking about like all mankind, or was he just talking about Israel? Because
Who did he scatter?
he scattered Israel, so he was talking about Israel.
Right.
Okay.
But thy life I will give unto thee for a prey in all places whither thou goest. So, thus saith the Lord, the power of Israel. Remember, that's who he's talking to.
Okay.
Right? The power of Israel unto thee, O Baruch. Thou didst say, woe is me now, for the Lord hath added grief to my sorrow, and I fainted in my sighing, and I find no rest. Thus shalt thou say unto him, the Lord saith thus, behold, that which I have built I will break down, and that which I have planted I will pluck up, even this whole land.
Okay.
Seest thou great things for thyself? Seekest thou great things for thyself? Seek them not. For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith the Lord. So he's talking about the inhabitants of that land.
Okay, and it says, and seekest thou great things for thyself, seek them not. That means, like right now, what we're going through, we're looking at, basically, if you're spiritual, you're looking at the destruction of the world, what's going on.
Right.
Most High's doing his thing. So we can't seek, there's no use for us going out there trying to seek great things, or we just got to sit back and
Well,
go.
it's like when you read in Ezra where he said, be as pilgrims to the evils. He said, as one that planted but gathereth not, one that got product but sell not. Where is it at? It's in Ezra. Right? So, is it saying not to seek great things in that mind state? No. It's, where's it at? I'm going to find it without having to search. You know what I'm talking about? When you said be as pilgrims
I've
to the
read it, I
evils.
just don't remember where it's at.
Find it. It's in Ezra. It's in 2nd Ezra. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 16. 40. Like, you're not supposed to be. What's the problem with our people? They're always seeking their own. Seek not your own, but seek the good of others.
2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 40. O my people,
Right?
he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose.
Right? Go ahead.
He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it.
Right. So what is it saying? Where's your mind supposed to be set? Not on. Not on seeking out things for yourself. Think about it. Seekest thou great things for thyself?
Right.
Seek them not.
Okay.
Right? For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith the Lord, but thy life will I give unto thee for a prey. Be able to. He said, I will give unto you, Salah, but thy life I will give unto thee. Basically, he was going to preserve him.
Okay.
Yeah, wherever he went. So really, this was like a direct message to Baruch.
Okay.
Right. So he was warning him about the inhabitants of the people, but he was warning him that he would preserve him.
Go on, brother. You got it.
That brings to my mind Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 4 to 7. It just talks about when you're carried away into seek the peace of the city whether I have caused you to be carried away captives and pray unto the Most High for it. So it's like, okay, don't forget me. Keep praying out to me. Keep crying out to me. Keep learning me. That's the stipulation. That's the prerequisite. Otherwise, it's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be whackness. Your house is gonna be whack. Your children are gonna be whack. Your wives are gonna be whack. Your husband's gonna be whack. All because you're extra.
Wives are foolish, children foolish, desolate. Yeah, that's what happened. What else? There's books that show the Romans calling themselves Idumeans. There's books that call the Romans calling themselves Esau. I love it. What else?
I think that's it. I'd have to, got another one, but I had lost it already. I need to find it again. It was actually in Jeremiah, and it was talking about 40 some the years. It was when he was telling Jeremiah to lay on one side.
Yeah, we went over that.
Right.
He said lay on one side, lay on another. He said the brick.
Right.
It's like Jeremiah or Ezekiel?
No, it's Ezekiel. I'm in Ezekiel right now. I am so sorry.
Yeah, that's Ezekiel.
I'm in Ezekiel.
So what about it?
Okay.
It's like Ezekiel 43 or something?
Hold on. It's a little earlier than that one.
What is this? You don't remember you were sitting right here?
Come on.
We went over that.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right here. Ezekiel 4 and 5.
Oh, it's Ezekiel
6.
4? Okay.
Okay,
what about
it was just a question. Okay. He said, when thou accomplish them, lie again on thy right side, and thou shalt bear iniquity for the house of Judah 40 days, but each one for a year. Right, so that's 40 years.
Right.
Here's my, so when you go up, it's 390 days. It's 390 years plus 40 years. That's talking about us here, because that's 430 years total.
Where were we at?
Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 5 and 6 says, "For I have laid upon thee the years, so thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. And when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on thy right side, and thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days, for I have appointed thee each day for a year." So that's 430 years. Does that mean here, because in Israel, we're only in captivity actually 80 years. No, in Egypt, I'm sorry, Egypt. So is this 430 years, does it actually mean here? Because this is the captivity, basically.
I would have to look into that.
Okay.
I don't want to say yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to look into that one and just get confirmation. Right. So you said it said 390 plus 40.
Right, that's 430 years total. Right. So that's and when we talk about it, usually it's these years that usually was talking about this time, because this time we've been in here already 400 some years in captivity under this nation. You know, it's our people.
Go back home. Yeah, I'll try to come quickly.
Remember, well, us getting out of here is the 144 got to be sealed. It wasn't about a time frame, really.
Right.
It's giving you a time frame of how long things could last, but the 144,000 got to be sealed. That was 3, right?
Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 5 and 6.
The year of thy name according to the number of days.
It's like all your studying, all your questions is needed, you know what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah, I don't want to feel like an idiot when I was asking a question. I was like, man, I don't want to try to ask that question. And sometimes you just ask the question because brothers need to hear too. So I was like,
we've been busy and stuff, so the reading that you're doing and the questions that you're asking is like, damn. And the righteousness side of it is like,
the 390. It may have a twofold meaning. The 290. When Solomon rededicated it to its destruction, the 40 years is talking about how long Judah was exiled from Jerusalem. But it could have a twofold meaning.
right.
It could have a twofold. So that's one part of it. Man, this is really coded. This chapter 4 where it talks about the brick and
all that different stuff. Yeah, lay on that left side.
Yeah.
It was all a little bit of symbolism. But I'll look into that 390.
Okay, I have to go over it a couple times to make sure I was reading it right.
These books. Yeah. Is that it? Nothing online. It looks like. Hey, we're gonna have class today. We should have. Yeah. Just giving y'all the heads up on that. Probably see us Tuesday. Probably see us Wednesday, and then that's gonna be it until the next week because Passover. All right. So. Oh.
Sure, in my bag. Look at this. In my bag. Look at this.
Oh, snap.
It's everything.
Bahashim Yahushai,
Baba Kashai,
Babu Kashai,
Shammai,
Shammai,
Shalach,
Shalach,
Ma'aka Allah,
Ma'aka Allah,
Wa,
Wa,
Allahayim,
Alahayim,
Ha,
Ha,
Shamar Al,
Shamar Al,
Kazak,
Kazak,
Rapah,
Rapah,
Izar,
Izar,
Magun,
Magun,
Hagun,
Hagun,
Samak,
Samak,
knowledge,
much knowledge,
understanding,
Much understanding.
patience,
Patience,
faith,
faith,
and brotherhood,
and brotherhood.
Shalach,
Shalach,
much spiritual power.
much spiritual power.
Forgive us
Forgive us
of our sins.
of our sins.
Baba Kashai,
Babu Kashai,
Shalach,
Shalach,
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh.
How many times was that? 4? 5?
1, 2, 3, 4. 5.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Kahawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Natalanawa.
Natalanawa.
Hathawara.
Hatawara. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai that gives to us Natalanawa.
A war. Zayawam.
Zayawam.
The water.
The water.
Aman.
Aman.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai that gives to us the light to see.
Salat. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai that gives us the light to see.
Right. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Kahawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Natalanawa.
Latananawa.
Ha'ayal.
Yo.
Korah.
Korah.
La Kwara'ah.
La Korah.
Ha.
Ha.
Ayin.
Ayin.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Shai.
Kahawa'ah.
Hawa'ah.
Nathalanawa.
Latananawa.
Shaman.
Shaman.
Zayath.
Zayath.
La.
La.
Mashath.
Mashah.
This is Psalms 92. It is a good thing
It is a good
to
thing
give thanks unto Yahweh,
to give thanks unto
to
Yahweh,
sing praises unto thy name.
to sing praise unto thy name.
Almost high.
Almost high.
Show forth thy loving kindness in the morning,
To show forth thy loving kindness in the morning,
and thy faithfulness every night.
and thy faithfulness every night.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings,
Upon an instrument of 10 strings,
upon the psaltery,
and upon the psaltery,
upon the harp with a solemn sound.
upon the harp with a solemn
For
sound.
thou, O Yahweh,
For thou, O
hast
Yahweh,
made me glad through thy works.
has made me glad through thy
I
works.
will triumph in the works of thy hand.
I will triumph in the works of thy
O
hands.
Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
how great are thy works,
how great are thy
and
works,
thy thoughts are very deep.
and thy thoughts are very
A
deep.
brutish man knoweth not,
A brutish man knoweth not,
neither do a fool understand this.
neither do a fool understand
When
this.
the wicked spring as grass,
When the wicked spring as
and
grass,
when all the workers of iniquity do flourish,
and when all the workers of iniquity do
it
flourish,
is that they shall be destroyed forever.
it is that they shall be destroyed forever.
But thou, O Yahweh,
But thou, O
art
Yahweh,
most high forevermore.
art most high forevermore.
Below thine
Of
enemy
iniquity shall be scattered.
but my horn,
But my horn,
thou shalt exhort like the horn of a unicorn.
thou shalt exalt like the horn of a unicorn.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
My eye also shall see
My eye also shall see
my desire of my enemies.
my desire of my
And
enemies.
my
my ears shall hear.
And my ears shall hear.
My desire of the wicked.
My desire of the wicked.
That rise up against me.
That rise up against me.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm
He
trees.
shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon.
He shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon.
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh Shai.
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh Shai
Shall flourish in the courts of the Most High.
shall flourish in the courts of the Most
They
High.
shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old
They
age.
shall be fat and flourishing.
They shall be fat and
To
flourishing.
show that Yahweh is upright.
To show that Yahweh is upright.
He is my rock.
He is my rock.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
This is Psalms 133. Shayar.
Shayar.
Hamalawat.
Humalawat.
Madawad.
Ladawad.
Hana.
Hana.
Ma.
Ma. Ka.
Hashaman.
Kashaman.
Hatawab.
Hatawab.
Al.
Al.
Harash.
Harash.
Yarad.
Yarad.
Al.
Al.
Hazakwan.
Hazakwan.
Zakwan.
Zakwan.
Aharan.
Aharan.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Al.
Al.
Payah.
Payah.
Madawatyawa.
Madawatyawa.
Katal.
Katal.
Haramwan.
Karamwan.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Al.
Al.
Hararia.
Hararia.
Tazayawan. Tazayam.
Kayam.
Ai.
Ai.
Ha'ai walam.
Wahai Balam. This is Psalms chapter 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
The water?
The water.
Yeah.
Tumya.
Come on.
Aman.
Let's circle up. Who's gonna call it? Call it. Yanyamata. Let's say shalom to everybody online.
Shalom.
See y'all back here on Monday.